Oh, is this thing on? Hi, I'm Jeff. Welcome to Spice Runners Lounge.
Hello there. This is General Kenobi. Hey, this is David from Black Splatter Broadcast.
Hey, I'm Todd Freeman, also known as Toad.
Hey guys, Opposite for Collectibles here.
Well, hey, I'm Seth with Rogue Squad Garage.
Hey, it's J2SO.
Hi, I am Mark. Welcome to the Spice Runners Lounge.
This is Joel Hawsey at Hawsey Custom.
Hi, I'm Jason.
Yo, this is Evan the Collector.
And you are watching the Spice Runners Lounge. And welcome to the Spice Runners Lounge.
Welcome to Spice Runners Lounge.
And welcome to the Spice Runners Lounge.
Welcome to the Spice Runners Lounge. Welcome to the Spice Runners Lounge.
And you're watching Spice Runners Lounge.
Welcome to Spice Runners Lounge.
And welcome to the Spice Runners Lounge.
Welcome to Spice Runners Lounge.
Join me and together we can rule the galaxy.
And welcome to the Spice Runners Lounge.
Welcome to the Spice Runners Lounge, where we hang out and talk dank ferric. This week in the house, we got Hector Cruz from Imperial Walker Ink. It's going to be an awesome show.
Thanks for having me. My God, what an introduction. This is a professional gig here. This is incredible. Wow.
We try.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a collab between our friends in the audience, and Scott Berry came up with the tunes.
Beautiful work.
Yeah, so for those looking for Scott, he's having technical difficulties, so he'll be joining us here pretty soon.
He's shy.
The joy of live.
He's shy.
Yeah. So welcome Friday night. This is our first episode in December with Hector. This is going to be a great show. Get to learn more about autographing and what he does in the signature world. He has a lot of good stories. We were hearing some of it in the green room, so can't wait for you guys to hear some of the stuff he's been working on. Also, we do have a giveaway tonight, courtesy of Joe. So if you tune in and stick around, Joe's got something that he made. I think you made it last week during the episode.
No, I made it back in 2019.
Oops. Oh, we got an AV person in?
Oh,
good. Man. A little dusty even. It's number 3. It's the third ever haired, the only out of the 3 that I did like this.
Yeah, that thing's amazing.
It is amazing.
It's gorgeous.
It's freaking awesome.
Looks like
and
a
it's signed and dated.
Wow.
Cool, you're back in.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Scott.
I had to bounce out and come back in. I did something stupid by turning my power off.
Oh, damn. That always
It's one of those days, man.
He's out. They pull him back in.
Yeah, so in the green room, we already picked out the word of the night. Well, we got 2 words. We got autograph and signature. So if you don't have a drink, go grab one because you're going to need it tonight. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. You could do coffee, water, soda, but have more fun with a carbonated beverage of some sort.
Hey, Toad. Yeah, so I drink coffee and bang.
Yeah.
And I got a cool one this week. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Oh, yeah, Vader.
Sweet, man.
A Vader koozie. Nice. Those 2 words shouldn't go together, but they do. Vader koozie.
Let's say what's up to our friends in the chat real quick. We got Jeff in Purgatory Land. It's in both places. Got Santino, what's up? Elijah, what's up? What's up, brother?
What's up, Elijah?
Sean Solo, what's up, runners? You got Todd Freeman. He's like, yo, my guys, we made it to another run. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God.
What's up, Izzy? Friday is finally here. Correct.
I know, right?
Pete. Everyone, I'm new to this channel. Welcome.
He's trying to go plural. He's trying to go plural like Jeff's.
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
We got our buddy Brian. Brian makes diorama.
Hey, Brian.
Janine enjoying vacation.
Yo, yeah, she is.
That's Scott's wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Ryan. Hello, Ryan. Welcome.
Hey. Hello.
Then we got
Nilda. Hi, Nilda.
Hey, everyone. Happy Friday. We got Chris. Good evening, all.
TGIF.
Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Got Joe in there. We got Marcel. What's up, Marcel?
Hey, Marcel.
Marcel?
What's up, Benjamin? Welcome, Spicers.
Benjamin.
It's one of our buddies. Kula Cats. That's a Koala Cats. Okay.
Koala Cat.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Our buddy Chris. What's up, Chris?
Chris.
We got J2 So in the chat. We got Sean Stewart. Happiest of Fridays.
Sean.
Sean. Got Koi Hall. I'm ready for some spice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You got Jose.
Jose. Winner. Chicken dinner.
You got Luke. Hey everyone. What's up, man? All the way from Australia.
Nice.
Mark Mahoney. What's up, Mark? J. Pablo Pop. What's up? Got Jason Emeroff. What's up? And Jason got your print, Scott. So
nice. Awesome.
Hey, Jason, trigger term, turkey.
Got my buddy James. What's up, everyone? Kaduku the Collector. He had a Black Friday sale in my house the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Sold him a bunch of stuff.
Nice.
Wow.
Dirge Designs. Hey, Spice Runners. Glad to talk about autographs. Probably the one thing I can keep up with you guys on. Yeah, there's our first one. So, Hector, every time you hear that sound, it's time to take a drink.
Oh, it's going to be a nightmare for you.
I'm good at that. I'm drinking a vintage Diet Coke.
There you go.
Got Sean Miller in the house. All the way from Canada. Hey.
What's up?
Hey, Sean.
Yo, instigator
Rolando.
number one.
Rolando.
What's up, Rolando?
Rolando.
Let's see. Hopefully, I didn't miss anybody. We got David Boudreau in the house. What's up, David?
David.
Man.
We're going to talk about your art print tonight.
Yeah,
Hey,
beautiful
David.
print, man. Beautiful print.
Hector, that's the one I showed you right before the show.
Oh,
David Boudreau.
Is the artist.
gorgeous work. Is that Drew?
David.
Yeah,
Boudreau.
David Boudreau?
David,
Yeah.
a beautiful print. Lovely.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. I say this all the time, at how much talent sits in this community between
Incredible.
everybody. It's just
Absolutely incredible.
amazing.
Facebook user. If you're on Facebook, just make sure to share your name so we know who you are.
Yeah.
Just keep the bloody noise down there. So I want to guess that's probably Austin.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
You got Badman. What's up, Badman?
Hey, man.
Bad man.
You got Black Spire. What's up,
David,
David?
when you come back on the show, man.
He's one of our
Right.
moderators. He's been busy.
He's working for the House of Mouse now.
Yeah. Give me that 40%
Here's
discount.
Yep,
Austin
there he is,
Johnson.
right there. Right there. Right? So here you go, Austin. Here's a song for you.
And then we got Ian Poole.
Ian.
Hey, Ian.
What's up, Ian? Cool. So that's everyone so far.
Awesome.
Got about 38 heads watching right now. Tell your friends we're live. I forgot to post a message on Instagram that we're going live, but
Got a kick-ass giveaway. Tell your friends.
Oh, yeah.
tell your friends. Yeah. So welcome, guys. Let's catch everybody up and go around the room and talk about what we picked up. What's up, Dennis?
Dennis?
So, hey, real quick, is it just me or is Dewback Deliveries black?
Oh, he's been frozen for a while.
Oh, okay. Just
Block.
want to make sure.
Frozen up.
Yeah.
But his audio's good.
Hey, dude, you're lucky it's black because usually when things freeze, it's usually like when you're like,
Oh,
you know, right in the
so
middle of
weird.
something.
Well, it's a great perfect freeze on our screen. It's just
Yeah, we have a perfect freeze of him.
yeah.
It never freezes where you're like, you know,
That's how
just
he is
perfect.
right
it's
now,
always in some weird thing. Yeah.
That's
look at
weird.
this.
All right. Let me duck out and I'll duck back in.
All right, you duck. Duck, man.
All right, so so this one doesn't count, but I put the word of the night in the chat. There's 2 words: autograph and signings.
I'll put them on the screen. There you guys go. Word
There
of
you
the
go.
night.
Good to go.
All right, so let's go around the room and talk about what we picked up. I'll go first. Scott, can you blow me up?
Yes. Boom. Oh, sorry.
All right, so number 1, I got this from David Boudreau.
Nice.
That's
That is
awesome.
so cool.
This thing is badass, guys.
I still have
Wow.
to get that.
Yeah, I gotta get one too.
I can't believe man, the details on this is amazing. Like
Hey,
when you
look
see
at
it on
that.
Instagram or Facebook, you can't tell like how detailed it is. Like the teeth have like grid and all sorts of stuff, and you can even see it inside the mouth.
You can smell the breath from here.
Yeah, you can, dude. This is amazing.
What do tauntauns smell like? Right?
That's right.
Smell like hay.
Hey.
Yeah. I like 4-H.
And then let me switch to camera 2 real quick. Second
2.
pickup.
Oh.
So Dave Boudreau gave me the name of his dude who made him one of these.
Oh, nice.
And I got me one too.
Oh, well, share the wealth.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'll send you guys the information.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not weathered like David's because David put a lot of work in his.
Sure.
But it's
You're on
a
an
good
Ewok
piece to
kick.
start with. What's up?
You're on an Ewok kick right now.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I love Ewoks. It's all
I
Joe's
kinda am
fault.
too.
You
It's
got
all
Joel in
Joe's
the background.
Yep. Those two
He's
down
changing
there.
his name from Eben the Collector to Eben Loves Ewoks.
Eben the Ewok collector.
I haven't seen your second My Buddy video.
I'll probably make it tomorrow. I'm gonna
You're
meet
gonna
up
have a
with
hangover.
George Medina and make him do it.
There you
Have
go.
the Medina Lorian do it.
There you go.
Yeah, so I think those are my pickups. We did get a progress shot for our pickup, Scott, that we did a couple weeks ago that hasn't shown up
Nice.
yet.
Yeah, which was cool to
Yep.
see. I'm curious. I have to go back and look at the original picture, but did he have the original picture? Did it have the I don't know what they
The
are, the
collar?
little pins or the shock thingies that were in between the
Shock
neck?
in the front.
Yeah.
I don't know because there was only one photo on the product listing. It was kind of tough
If
to
it
make
doesn't
out.
have them, I can print them.
Yeah,
I can
I was
print 'em
thinking
too.
that at worst case. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it too.
I think I got some already printed. Yeah. No, so
No,
that's,
but no,
that's
it was
all I
nice to
got.
see some an update for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I
'Cause
think
I feel like
he
I've
sent
got
some more pictures.
I feel like I've got this money out and I'm just waiting. You know, you're just in that wait game of like
Yeah, and then it
February,
takes all your
March.
money later.
Yeah.
And
All at
I'll look
once.
it up while we're talking, and I'll bring them up a little bit later.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
Just 'cause I think he did send like 3 or 4 pictures. I just shared the one that I downloaded.
Yeah. Oh,
Cool.
good.
So Hector, I don't know if you picked up anything this week. If you wanted to share.
I think I picked up a cold this week, but
There
otherwise,
you go.
Well, that's not
I
worth
don't have
paying for.
anything. I don't have anything. I feel so inadequate, and now you put me on the spot. I don't have anything. I'm sorry, but this is awesome. I love seeing your stuff.
You're like the ultimate collector, man. You collect all these signatures.
I do. That's technically true. Unfortunately, I didn't like it like a dork. I didn't bring anything to show and tell. I apologize.
Oh, it's all good.
You're good.
Oh, you're good. You're good. And yeah, once we're done, we'll with this part of the segment, we'll go back and we'll be talking with you like for a while. So
Yeah. No, I'm here. I'm a fan first. So let's see.
can't wait to hear the stories.
Yeah,
Tell us
yeah.
about your jacket that you're wearing, though.
Let's see if I can get a.
Excuse me, this is
Here we go.
this is my first of all the costume is obviously Luke Bespin fatigues.
Nice.
Jacket. The two. I'm kind of a jacket fanatic in general in life, but my two favorite jackets in the Star Wars films are this one and Han Solo's Empire jacket.
Right.
So this one was always my favorite, and I can't remember what company made this. I can't remember for the life of me, but it's got the cool lining, the orange lining, and it's got like the Rebel insignia
Nice.
embossed
Is that for the
inside. I don't know if you can
That's
see it.
badass.
Yeah, sort of.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah.
Oh,
That's cool.
My,
Heroes and villains, maybe.
does Scott have a filter that makes my face less fat? That would help a lot. The details of the jacket.
You know, when
Well,
his
well,
internet
they-
is working, usually.
They say when you have a camera on you, it adds 10 pounds. So
There must be 7 cameras on me.
you look
So-
good, man. I love the jacket. It's great. So
Yeah, I can
if
tell.
if a food lover is a foodie, would a jacket lover be a Jackie?
Jackie.
Oh,
Whoa.
That's dangerously. Yeah, that's a dangerous.
Better than being a Karen.
Dangerous.
and that's why Scott doesn't drink.
Exactly. I have enough issues.
No, that's cool, Hector.
No, I've had this for a while. I bought it for the premiere of The Last Jedi, believe it or not, because it was a Luke movie. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm wearing it.
I think I like
That's
the
a nice
jacket more than the movie.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think the jacket looks
knew
awesome.
The minute I said that, I was walking into a landmine by saying that.
Well, no,
Oh,
the good
man.
part is that you didn't burn the jacket after the fact because you had a lot of people that would do that craziness,
Oh, like
Yeah.
me, like I had a fire sale. I sold a bunch of my Star Wars stuff after that movie.
Really? Wow.
Oh my god, I was so like sad. I was like, dude, what the hell happened? What did I just watch?
That's after you tried to convince me for a few months that it was a good movie.
Well, you know what? I was, Jason. I was in the same boat. every boy growing up was either a Luke guy or a Han guy, right? And I was the Luke guy in a group of friends that were all Han guys. And so I waited, as all of you did, 30 plus years to see him back on the big screen. So I left that movie trying to convince myself I liked it. So I spent a good month telling myself, yeah, it was good. And then it slowly came around to the reality. But let's not tear that apart.
We could do a whole episode on that if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be rated out loud.
I will say I liked it better than The Rise of Skywalker. How's that? I'll pay the compliment.
Yeah, that's
fair.
Yeah. So Jeff, what's new with you, man?
I don't have a ton new this week, but I did do a Kenny Baker plaque this week.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
So it's a cut. Basically, it was a picture that had gotten ruined, right? So I kind of made a cut plaque. So it's from our favorite guy, Ariel, the plaque. So he did the plaque, and then I basically, reswizzled the Kenny Baker signature.
Those are amazing plaques.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I had the same thing and I'm putting it with the R2 that's over there. And then I did the same thing with an Anthony Daniels one this week.
Wow.
See, I just want the plaques. I don't even need the signatures. I just want the plaques.
Yeah.
Plaques are so nice,
You have
man.
one of the nicest signatures I've seen.
Sorry.
Yeah. Anthony Daniels he hasn't changed his signature in years. So
Yeah, it's badass.
it's the same. So
If I was famous, I'd constantly change my signature just to screw with people.
The guys that try to certify. Yeah.
and then we did that one too.
It's gonna get rough.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
I still gotta get one of those.
Yeah. So I have yours, Jason.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
So, but yeah. So Ariel. So Hector's familiar with Ariel as well. He sends him directly all the time. But these are all Ariel plaques. I didn't do any of the design work. This is all Ariel's stuff. So
Wow.
you basically tell him what you want, and he'll throw it together and send you a proof in less than probably. If he's around, he's usually 20 minutes to an hour. He'll send you a proof back, and he'll have it in the mail the next morning.
Yeah, Ariel Martinez is the best in the business when it comes to plaques. Incredible. That R2D2 plaque you put up was gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I said I just want the plaque.
Quick.
Yeah, he's very quick, and he's been doing this. I mean, a bunch for me and a bunch for other people for a long time now, and Hector can speak for him too. But class act guy, always responds. He just did a bunch of the other ones I got this week. He just did all the new Saber plaques for me too.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, those are cool.
That's awesome.
So they're the little, little ones.
Holographic.
And to add on to it, he's got that trifecta of being fast, incredibly high quality, and low prices. So he criminally underpriced.
Good business.
Take advantage for the quality.
I like that one.
Is insane.
That's a great photo.
Oh, the photo with the lightsaber on it too, man. That's sweet. I didn't notice that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
The lightsaber plaques, he'll put the saber on the bottom of it too.
That's so badass.
Wow.
So anyway, so those are all with all of my sabers. So every time I get a new saber, I just hit Ariel up and he sends a plaque out to me.
That's cool, man.
Hey, Robin.
Yeah, that's my
Robin.
Those are my pickups.
You got a new shirt too.
Oh yeah, I won this. So me and Jason were battling it out a couple weeks back on the
Hyperdrive
thing or whatever, and I won this T-shirt from the Medina Lorian.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
So, which is cool because I was going to buy one anyway. So
that's really cool.
The A has him with a backwards hat on.
Yep.
If you look at the A,
that's so awesome.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's him with the backwards hat.
That's him. Yeah.
That's funny.
That last video. Speaking of George, that last video that he did, where he was going through the top 10 lightsaber companies or whatever,
that was good.
he showed an old review he did. And I'm like, who the heck is this guy? It totally threw me because he was clean shaven.
No.
He looked different. He may have had more weight on him or less. I can't remember, but I was like, who is that? And it took me 3 or 4 seconds to realize it was George.
Wow.
So
That's funny.
Wow.
Hey, Jeff, there's a question for you in the chat.
I don't know, actually. They're small. Let me look.
Maybe
3.5 by 4. Oh,
3.5 by 4.
3 by 4s.
Good size.
Yeah,
it's decent.
It doesn't take away from the, it doesn't take away from the sabers or anything else. So.
And then what do you do to hold them up? Is there a little something on the
Just
back?
a little piece of double-sided tape.
Okay.
But yeah, if you look, I don't know if you can see them really good, but so like they're underneath every one of those plaques or every one of those sabers. You can't see it because the probe droid's in the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brian's asking if they're metallic.
They are. They have like a little bit of a sheen or a, they're like all metal. So
I think all of his are metal, right?
Yeah, they're all metal. Everything Ariel does is metal. It just prints out. Let me take one out so I can show you.
Here's a good one from Ryan. Jeffy's asking, how do you protect the signatures on the plaques from dust and things?
Yeah, so you use baseball card screw down covers. So, and then like even the ones up here are like dollar bill covers.
Oh, nice.
So you like use a magnetic double dollar bill cover, but yeah, if you look at it, this is so they're like shiny.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It's got that holographic.
Yeah.
I got hit him up.
For the little small ones, I use like the baseball card covers, those plastic sleeves.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you keep the dust off them. I mean, anything you can find that matches the size for like baseball cards type stuff. So or like they have ones for like ticket stubs too that are nice.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So, yeah.
No, those are perfect size. Perfect dimension.
I would think if the ticket stub one would protect against UV and things like that, because if you left a ticket stub in the sun, it's gone. It doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So, and the other thing too is, and Hector knows this too from the autograph stuff, it's like blue pen fades very fast. I mean, you can put it under regular LED lights, sunlight, it fades. So you got to be really careful with the
Do you guys recommend paint pens? We'll get into that, but hey,
funny.
I'm serious. It's
That's my
paint,
pickup.
right?
I
Brian wants some for his hot toys.
There you go.
Who is that person? Katie Sackhoff likes to do weird colored pens.
Does she?
I was like, no, I want black.
Well, Alec Guinness used to do weird colors too.
Oh, yeah?
So yeah, he used to do pink.
Oh, man, those
Pinks
would be a
and
cool
blues
one to grab. No, man, appreciate it, Jeff. Let's move over to J2SO. What's new with you, man? What you got?
So I got this to piggyback off of Jeff.
You got a chair. Yeah.
I got a chair. No, I got this.
Oh, you got chair.
Oh, you want a saber? That's right.
Yeah, I want a saber. Let me see if I can get this thing on. Oh, there we go.
The sabers
Look at
are
this
freaking
thing.
awesome,
Look at that
dude.
thing.
Nice. That is
I
bright,
hope you
dude.
can twist it.
Dude, look at that.
It amazes me when you see something like that and you see the size of it compared to the legacy lightsabers they have that are so chunky.
Well, and they're so much brighter.
They're so fat, dude.
Yeah,
The legacy
dude.
ones.
It's a fan. Yeah, I mean, this is a good size, right? And it kind of has. He just happened to randomly give me this one, right? And it kind of has that
Obi-Wan vibes.
Padawan ball that I
Yeah.
like on the bottom.
Look at
So
that pommel.
It's almost like the episode 1.
Yeah.
yeah, but this thing's bright. This thing's sweet.
Can't
So, yeah, I
you
wonder
can't you
if that-
twist it and it turns on and off?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
No, you gotta
Like a
like
wrist.
shake it. You gotta do like a wrist twist. No, not like that.
Not like that.
Like
what?
this. Like this. Go like a motorcycle. Go from and see if you can turn it on and turn it
Like
off.
a panther.
If it's a Profi board, it will work. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember if
Yeah,
it was
no.
that one or the
It's
other one
like
he
light
had.
up on iPad. And I could change the color.
Yeah, you got to turn it off and hold the button for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
The sound fonts and everything.
Yeah.
So badass, dude.
But yeah, this thing's
You get a
sweet.
sunburn with that too, or
I know, man. The lighting
Right?
is
It looks like
badass,
it's
dude.
giving you a tan.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, that thing's cool. My dog hates it, but so I
My
got
cats
that.
love them. My
Oh,
cats
yeah.
actually
Your
think
Clone
they're so
Trooper
cool.
Print looks dope.
I,
I think you showed that off before, but it looks good. I
Which
haven't
one?
seen it. The print, the Clone Trooper print.
Oh yeah, I was gonna show that. Yeah, so I finally. The other thing about it is I finally got a frame because it's a 12 by 36, right? So it's
Unusual.
hard to find a
cool.
frame. So I finally got one. But dude, look at
Is
this.
Danny Haas?
That's
So
cool.
what?
Danny Haas? Who did that one?
This was I don't know who this artist was. It was on Dark Ink, and I had to buy it. But like, dude, you got the Bad Batch on it. You got Vaughn.
You
Actual
got Desert Wolf too.
dude.
Dude, I love how Vaughn or that's not Vaughn, but whoever's got the Gatling gun, how it comes outside the border.
That's Fox.
Oh yeah. So look at that. We got Waxer and Boyle. You got the Delta Squad, whatever the hell it's called. But this is my favorite, dude. You got 99 on here.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Only asked 99. That's so sweet.
That's funny.
And then you got that cool like 501st up here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
So,
Got all the key clones on there, yeah.
Yeah, so if you like Clone Wars, man, I think this is still up. Great print.
Your shirt is great too. My wife would want that shirt.
Yeah, Sean just messaged me. I was like, "Where'd you get that?" This is from Box Lunch a few years ago, a couple years ago.
Oh yeah,
and it has the tour dates on the back.
Oh, nice.
That's funny.
That's cool.
Nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah, with different planets.
That's badass.
And then right before the show, I was at a birthday dinner, and on eBay I got this guy. I gotta figure out how to share my damn screen, but
oh, you got the Gentle Giant, dude.
Dude, did you really score that?
Was that an arm and a leg or what, dude? That's hard to come by.
It was so it's the Luke one. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, that's the Gentle Giant. Yeah.
Anyways, it's the Luke one. It was at $99. I put 101 with like 20 seconds left just to see, and I got it.
Oh, got a good price for that.
$100.
That's good.
Did you buy just the box?
Wow.
$100 with,
you better look at the description.
Yeah, dude,
is it 1/10?
Yeah, it comes with like another head with like Luke.
Wow.
That's
a good
for
deal,
$100.
That's a
For
steal.
$100 plus 30 shipping, I got it.
Holy
And yeah,
cow.
1/10, correct?
Yeah, they're Scotty. They're 1/10.
Okay, just want to make sure. Yeah, because Janine says she has the perfect spot for it when you get sick of it.
Yeah, it's on Dark Ink.
And then Mr. Instigator.
What's the signature?
And then there's a company called Galaxy Toys on Etsy, and I've been wanting to upgrade my Vader. They're in Germany, I think. So I ordered this. I finally pulled the trigger and got this Vader helmet.
Ooh,
nice.
Which one's this? You said they're in Germany?
It's from Galaxy Toys, yeah. So
okay,
it's hard to fucking give the detail,
Yeah,
but
Looks good, dude.
Yeah, that
dude, it's awesome. The reviews were great. Saber also yells at you once it officially kicks off.
That's nice.
He wants you to come back and play.
It says the resistance is dead, the war is over, and then it fully shuts off. That's pretty cool.
That's funny.
Yeah, I
That's
got
funny,
the
dude.
this week.
And then the Mando helmet, the black is in the back is Black Series, right?
Shit. Yeah, that's Black Series and the Sideshow Grogu.
It looks so good.
Yeah,
I still have to get the balls to cut him up to pose him better like people did, but
I know.
no, we
You
got
said
the,
don't say balls and cut in the same sentence, please.
everyone pretty girl that Joel made.
Oh yeah, little size. Check out that noodle.
Is that sliced noodles? Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Joel
Yeah,
made
good
that.
one, Dale.
Yeah, I formed a nice little
Yeah.
butt cheek on her too.
Yeah, here I can show you. Real quick.
Joe knocked her out in like an hour.
Great.
Dude, look at her.
Oh my God, Joel, you made that?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Where do you see
Yeah,
Joel's
look at
stuff?
the
Man?
fabric. And then
Holy
if you have kids watching, turn them away now. But we got
Yeah.
a little side booty there. You know, the booty there.
What am I looking at?
I couldn't resist.
Yeah, I mean, look at the scale. I mean, it's quarter.
Well,
so-
now with Andor, it's been proven they go to the bathroom in Star Wars universe. So it's okay.
Joel, what materials are made out of it? What is that?
It's made out of resin and then some putty and basically a bunch of cloth.
Wow, incredible!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I told you that the talent that's in the community is insane.
It's
No
incredible.
question.
Thank you.
So that's it for me.
Cool.
Nice,
Thanks,
man.
Jason.
That's it for me.
That was a good week. That was a good
Wow.
week, Jason.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, he had a good week. What about you, Scott?
Let me see how.
What did Janine get this week?
Yeah.
No, I mean I've got stuff coming, so it's just going to be when it gets here. But if somebody wants to,
I'll blow you up,
So-
dude.
Oh,
I
dude,
got
I
it.
love this.
So Janine got this guy.
It's got a low number too, 47.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a nice
that's really
amount.
low, right? And it's just an absolutely beautiful piece.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
it
Scott,
really
I've,
is.
I've seen this a few times in person. I've been so close because it's
Yeah.
it's phenomenal.
No question. It's just like wow. I mean, seriously, wow.
Just sculpting all that hair. I mean, the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
The
It's easier to
goggles.
put the hair on.
Yeah, but like the
General
goggles
Giant
you
does
can see
great with
through.
creatures.
And then we also got this today, which J2SO will be very happy with.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
I was
he
actually
showed up.
got that.
He showed up in pieces, but yeah, he's there. And there's Maddie. That's Maddie. He absolutely loves Judgmental Yoda, for sure. Absolutely loves
Yeah, I turn his head to the right, so when he's like putting his little force hand out, I turn the shoulder piece so it faces that way.
Does the head move because it's connected to the shoulders?
Yeah, it's just enough that the shoulders give it like that, like he's turning like the upper torso of him.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Which Yoda is that?
This is J2SO Yoda.
That was the Judgmental Yoda I had.
Yeah.
Who made that?
Open the litter box, you shall.
And I got it from eBay a few years ago.
You repainted them, repainted the eyes. Because he used to sit in the background. He always had that judgmental look because his eyes were looking like this way. And I used to always make comment to the point to where, unfortunately, it upset Jason where he's like, I have to repaint him. I got to redo his eyes.
Yeah, I pulled them apart and popped the eyes and re-put them up. But
so that's pretty much it besides stuff coming. I mean, like I said, today got the little the Vader koozie, whatever.
Who's that from? Who makes that?
I don't know if Janine got it at Target or Michael's or somewhere, but it's just, one of those things. I usually have the R2D2 one, but she showed it to me today. She's like, "What do you think?" I said, "Get it. I'll use it on the show." So that's have to, right? I don't have any autographs or signatures or any of that stuff.
2 drinks.
Mm-hmm. Remember, guys, sips.
I'm doing sips tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting wasted.
All right, so
I can't get wasted.
Let's let Dewback go next.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise we have Joel go, and then that's just not cool.
Well, I got this first and foremost. FedEx notice that tomorrow my Hot Toys Mando and Blurg is showing up.
Let me show what you did.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna share my screen real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, you did an awesome job putting those up, man.
Bam.
Yeah.
First of all, look at how cool that looks.
Yeah, man. I'm so happy with it.
Clone Wars. I'm sorry, Attack of the Clones creatures. Very cool.
Joel made all those, Hector.
Jesus Christ.
Right?
That's what we say every week.
You're going to need to get his thingy.
I'm going to need his autograph.
Yeah.
There it is.
Joel, you know what I love the most, Joel, is the way the light hits off the Nexu's eyes, the little beady eyes, that light.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I see it up there.
Yeah, I can kind of see it. Probably in person, it's probably phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if I can blow it up.
Yeah,
you got the accolade displayed really well too, where the paint on its head.
Yeah, that one was the biggest challenge to hang. And it's so interesting because each of these I had to hang differently. The only one I'm not happy with is the Wampa, where you can see the bracket in the back. I got to put some white snow back there or something to kind of conceal it.
And knowing Joel, I'm guessing that these are all in scale with each other.
Pretty much, yeah.
The only one
the Bantha head is that big. The Dewback head,
The only one that I didn't like for the scale that they said was supposed to be 1/6 scale, it was the green one, the Ackley.
Ackley, yeah, he looks a little small, but no, man, it's phenomenal. And
I actually tripled the size of what they said was 1/6.
Oh, no kidding! Wow. Yeah, dude, but the Nexu, like when I got that Nexu up there, it was like just the teeth and the glisten. I'm like, holy shit, that looks amazing. Just altogether, I'm just awesome. I mean, the Dewback's my favorite. I mean, obviously,
but they all look amazing. I mean, the Tauntaun's so cool, and the Bantha and Jason's Instigator #2. Yeah. So,
Hector, Joel now sends out a little he does a George Lucas thing where he's got like all of his toys in the background, and he sends a little card out with a little signature on it now.
Look at
so cool.
You said it too. Signature.
Yeah, just love it.
These are awesome.
So cool.
So yeah, Joel, we gotta keep it going. After the first year, we'll do a few more.
Right.
Okay, I can do like a Mudhorn and some stuff, and I'll keep working on the read.
Awesome. There you go. Yeah, man. So tomorrow I got Mando and Blurg coming, and
nice.
Not sure where I'm gonna put that exactly. And then this week, 2 of these came in. The Kodo 110.
Yes.
Nice.
Dude. That looks awesome. And where did you get those before you broke them?
It just sits there.
Yeah.
Is that what company is that? Is that custom.
Kotobukiya.
Oh, I love Kotobukiya.
Yeah, it's the 1/10 Artifacts Plus line. So I got 2 of these, so I just need to pick up the Emperor and Throne to put in the middle of them.
They're great. They're great.
Yeah,
Janine's got a full collection of them going because I picked up the TIE pilot, and then she scored a Vader C-3PO R2 for $40 on Macari, all of them for $40, and they sat for a little while, but we loved them. And then she started seeing the other ones on Macari and started boom, 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 boom. Just started.
That's where I got this one for $150.
Knocking them down.
Set. And you know what's cool about them is when you take them out, they're bigger than you think they're going to be. Like for 1/10, you're like they're pretty good. You know.
Well, yeah, 1/12 is smaller. That's Black Series, but these things are cooler by far.
Oh, but J2SO has been helping me find a reasonable Emperor.
Nice.
Yeah, I sold mine for like $300, and that was like 3 years ago, maybe.
Wow,
Todd, so you're the one.
Evan, can I go again?
Go for it.
Yes, I didn't pick these up this week, but Jason mentioning Kotobukiya reminded me. This is my one of my.
Oh, nice! Yes. That's a great set, dude. That is a great set.
This is Kotobukiya. This sits on my office desk.
Dude, and it's just the little niceties like having the magnets in the feet, you know, for the base and everything. That's just.
I love that too, and this is my all-time. I think this is my all-time favorite Star Wars licensed item, and I'm sure all of you have it. This is the General Giant Boba Fett mini bust. I just think this thing is a masterpiece.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
1/6.
It's not just the realization of the armor and everything. It's the pose.
Yeah.
Everything about it is just so beautifully realized.
Can you hold it with your hands? You're making me nervous.
We'll hold it with your hand.
Don't try it.
I actually bought this on the original run when it was originally released. It was one of their first busts.
It was. That was one of their originals. Yeah.
Then I ran into some problems where I needed money, and I sold it for a good amount, but I regretted it instantly.
Right.
And then I went on a hunt a couple years later to find it. Now this is going to be buried with me.
Yeah, that one's phenomenal. That was one of the best ones.
This is who I was waiting for. Sean.
Sean.
Yes, because Sean has a full. He's done the full, Boba Fett.
That's a very good point. Sean mentioned Empire Strikes Back, but that's another reason I love this. I'm one of those weird guys that prefers the Empire Strikes Back armor and the rifle.
Yep.
This rifle to me is superior.
I love that. I love the gauntlets being green. I never dug the red gauntlets.
Yeah, ESB Boba's
all the way.
I feel like I found my people. Thank you for having me.
You're always welcome, man.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's put the spotlight on Joel.
All right. So
what did you work on
that B-wing looks like it's the size of you, like you can climb in it.
It's a beautiful piece, and I can't wait to finish the rest of it. But I got this from Austin, and it's just awesome. The pictures, the camera's not on it very well, but I really wanted to show this.
I'm surprised they made it from the UK, man, in one piece.
Yeah, it's 1/6 scale. That's got to be close to the size of the Falcon.
Oh,
dude,
crap, dude.
Electronics.
Wow. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Dude,
I have had it.
Awesome.
Oh my God.
I could, and I plan on finishing this thing. This thing's gonna be sick.
You're gonna make the whole ship?
I plan on it. I don't know. I've been brainstorming maybe a TV stand, like I'll have it so you can move it on the wall and then do a spin.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to do some sort of bearings. Yeah, I'm geeking already.
Wow.
All right.
So good.
Holy crap.
I don't know if this is gonna pick up.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
And then you got
your wife's picture is so funny.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay. All right.
Badass. I like Robin's comment here.
Oh, you did a 1/6. You did a 1/6. Nice.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
I love the headdress. Beautifully done.
Right?
It's low gray.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you're
It's
too good,
fantastic, dude.
That looks great.
Is that 1/6 or a quarter scale?
Yeah,
It's
you could do a
1/6.
C-scan.
Yeah.
That's probably
And
pretty
then
damn
I'm
close.
kind of working on this one. I'm gonna do a whole
Nice.
series of these bad
Wow.
boys.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah. Just the
he's-
heads or
No, the whole figure.
whole body?
Then I had to do a baby.
Yeah.
Did you do your Sindel and Mace from the Ewok movie?
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm working
Instigator
on
number
this one.
3.
beautiful piece.
Santino being an instigator.
That's just badass, dude.
Dude, that is incredible. And it moves.
Well,
look at that.
The part that's badass for me is that she turns
cables.
into the Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only part.
Love all the cables, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's so cool. I'm gonna take my time on that one. And then let's see. This bad boy came in from my buddy Dwayne Wickham. He did most of the work on it, but it's the Force Awakens Chewie.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But I went and I added some dreads. I had to. He had the chin ones there. The jaw was a little bit broken, but I made it so he was roaring.
Is the sword Lord of the Rings?
It is.
Yeah. The Elfin blade.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had to add all that.
Dude, the shoulder pauldron's badass.
Those are Viking shoulder pauldrons, and they're fully metal. It just figures heavy.
You could probably print a clone trooper helmet and cut that up and put it on his head.
Oh, I probably got a failed print that I could probably use.
Hell yeah, that looked badass, dude.
And then we all know, or most of us probably know, Elijah's situation.
Wow. Wow, dude.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
This was on order from him, and he wanted it, and it was his most anticipated piece for the end of the year.
You did a full body?
And you gave him legs.
Oh,
Wow. And a diaper. He's got a nappy.
Elijah, I'm jealous.
Yeah, dude. I've been on the fence about picking this one up, but oh my god, I might need that.
Do it.
Yeah, so I figured out a way to do the feet to fit in the piano and make it all fit and look.
There you go, right there. All blue hearts.
Badass.
This is going to him for free. All he's paying for is the shipping.
Damn, Joel.
Because I wanted him. It was his most anticipated piece, so I wanted him to have it.
That looks.
Dude, that thing is badass, man.
Can I drop the F-bomb on how cool that looks?
Yes, you can.
It's fucking awesome.
That's pretty well it for me. I got some more stuff, but I'm gonna keep it quite short, and I'll just store-bought stuff. So yeah, we're good.
No, it's
hey, Evan.
Jeff.
Really quick. Joel shipped me this thing this week too.
Oh, you got the batteries not included?
Yeah.
Oh, that thing's
is
nice,
so
dude.
cool.
Look at the paint on that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So do you
it.
display that in that room, or do you have a separate room that you're starting for the off-fall, the other thing?
No. Everything needs to reside in this room.
Says high command, right?
Yeah, right. Says high command. Yeah.
That's how mine used to be. Then I created another Batman room, and then a Marvel room, and then now the whole house is pop culture.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
That's insane.
No, that's cool, man. So, yeah, I guess good pickups, everybody.
Next Rebo giveaway.
Hey, can I? Everybody's stuff is amazing, but Scott, you had a piece in the background that I really liked, which is the Anakin Skywalker pod racer helmet, which I think that was you, or no, somebody showed it.
My wife has it. Yeah, it was in one of her pictures. Yeah,
I feel like that's one of those underappreciated pieces because it so looks like original trilogy kind of tech, very beat up, but it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can.
That helmet. It's hard to find too.
It is up here at the top.
Yep, up on the right. I saw it. Yep, there it is.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I love that piece.
You can see it up in here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Who made that one? Was that Elusive Concepts?
Yeah.
I forgot who made that one.
I don't remember this. I mean, it was a toy. I think it came out in the early 2000s. Yeah, or 2010.
Wow.
Yeah, but it looks good with everything. And then that blue light we've got in the background behind this just sets this whole thing off because all the ships are up there. It just looks
doing some Elijah lighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
There's my tie bus, and there's my cat. Yeah, it's my boy.
Can I ask, how do you guys do? It sounds like Scott has a wife who's a fan as equal as him, or equally into it. How do you guys deal with wife acceptance factor?
They're called high command.
It's fine.
Me and Evan lucked out, and did Scott. So my collection room is the dining room.
Your collection is the dining room. Wow.
My collection room is the house.
Mine too.
Yeah, my wife is totally awesome with me, but if I put one more thing in one of the bathrooms, she's going to burn it down.
So what I like to ask people is, how long would it take somebody, a stranger coming to your house, before they know you're a Star Wars fan?
Oh,
like seconds. Into the house
within seconds. Yeah.
I
mean, we put up our Christmas tree last year. Janine wanted a new tree, and she works for Home Depot. So she fell in love with this tree, brought it home, and it just started winding up being a Star Wars tree. So like half the toys and things like that wound up. My old snow speeder's in there, my land speeder, and all this other stuff. It's been up all year. We never took it down because it's now a display case for all this stuff. But we also got the Hallmark stuff, which was like the Death Star and all the talking pieces, and they completed that run this year. So Han and Chewie and Darth Vader and Princess Leia. And you hit the lightsaber to get it to go. It plays the music, and it goes through most of A New Hope. It's pretty awesome. It's
Very
really
nice.
awesome.
How about you guys? How long before they know you're a Star Wars fan?
Mine's a hidden room, so mine has this door.
He's a closet fan.
I'm closeted too. I'm not closeted in the sense that I won't tell anybody, but the deal with my wife is that nothing pop culture can appear on the main living area upstairs, so everything's down here.
I think that's more common. Yeah, I mean, I get
it. Mine. She's slowly letting me put Star Wars outside in the main area.
So see, nice. Evan and I met through our wives who worked together, and they were both kind of, I think, grew up with in the 80s, the era where it was kind of cool to have that. You had siblings that were into the stuff. So it's like when Evan and I first met, I'm like, oh, you're into Star Wars? Like, yeah.
Did we
just become best friends?
We just become best friends. Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's moving out of the state. But no, I always tell the funny story when we sold our last house. Our realtor told me to take down all the collectibles.
That's funny.
Because the house would not sell because people can see themselves in it. And I had a hidden camera on there. When we had the open house, people were like, holy shit, does this come with the house? Do we get this?
Right.
They wanted it. It was like right away.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you should get the stuff, Brian, from Hallmark. It's pretty awesome. But also, Brian, I was gonna say, I think Janine and I have just gotten to a point in age where we're like, nobody comes over to the house. This is our house. We're gonna do what we want. Who cares? It used to be back when you were younger, in your 30s or whatever. It's like, I want nice furniture and blah blah blah, and it's like, F that. We're putting up a full size, Imperial Guard.
It's a generational thing. I think it's different than our grandparents, and I think about that all the time. Like, if my grandparents walked into my house, they'd be like, "What the frick is going on here?"
The first thing my mom says,
my mother-in-law does.
Yeah, my mom was like, "You probably have like $100,000 worth of stuff in this house." I'm like, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, right. Maybe.
There is also
saying, "Oh, this is cool" or whatever.
The things you guys seem to have are high-end collectibles, which are works of art unto themselves. So it's not like you're papering the walls with action figures, on card backs. No problem.
I think for all of us, we collect the gamut. I mean, I think we do low price stuff, and that's the cool thing about now is
that was one of the last things I got.
I mean, look at that.
That's Black Series.
No. I absolutely agree. You guys have it displayed so beautifully. I'm really keen on display.
Yeah.
Like, Eben, can you tell us about the lighting in your window boxes there for the statues?
So, and the Bestas behind me, like the lights over here, like died, but I use these things called Peking lightings. They're like pin lights.
Okay. What are they called?
It's like a Chinese name. Peking.
They're on Amazon, right? I bought a set of those and I put them in.
Yeah.
They look kind of like little spotlights almost.
Yeah, they're like little spotlights.
Are they wired or
you can angle them, which is nice.
Yeah, because I originally bought them a few years ago for my wife, because my wife collects Disney stuff. So she has like displays in another room. And I was like, man, let me light these things up. And I liked them so much that I used them for my Bestas. And that's all I have in the room, except for the master replicas, because for some reason those got disconnected.
So are they wired? I'm asking because I might.
They're wired. Yeah, they're wired. So they all go into like a little box, and I think the box you can do like 6 at a time. So I got a bunch of those back there.
Ones. Yeah, you can.
Beautiful.
Well, you also got Jeff's. You can see Jeff. Jeff's got all the lighting.
The same thing.
Jeff's got hardwired. Yeah.
I spin the camera.
I use under cabinet lighting for my stuff, and then I have the vintage stuff.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
See, I use a combination. I've got hardwire, and then I also have USB powered lights that just can recharge. That are
and you can kind of see the under. It's just under cabinet lighting you would get for like a regular kitchen or whatever. So,
so when you come into the room and you turn on, do you flip one switch, everything turns on, or no?
I have a automation, so like every morning at like 8:30, everything fires up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I got mine went through Amazon.
Thank you.
My wife's been buying the pucks that are battery, and she just has them up in there, and then she just untwists them and changes the batteries out. Don't have to run any wires. She's happy.
I'm the guy that just has all the expensive stuff. I buy the $3,000 gun and put a Walmart scope on it.
Right.
My shelves are Walmart scopes.
Hey, whatever works. Yeah, but your room, dude, I think all of us could like live there for a while.
Yeah.
Right. But Hector, you can do different things. So like if you're like an Amazon dude or Apple person, there's automation for each one of those that works.
Mm-hmm. I like it. How about you, J2S? So what kind of lighting is there?
Mine's just pucks. I don't know if you can.
I can't see. Yeah,
I'll get you. Hold on.
It's they're just pucks that they stick. But the thing, like Scott was saying with the twist ones that his wife has, there's so many wires running behind here that I had to get. So the Bestas are on one light switch, the Detolf's on another light switch, that Vesta's on a light switch. It's just,
now I know. I didn't know what Eben was saying when he said Bestas. Those are IKEA shelves.
The cabinets,
yeah, IKEA cabinets. Those white
I thought he was referring to you guys, like your besties or something.
Yes, that too.
I'm learning your language.
And Joel's got
yes, look at Joel's.
Look at the track lighting. Very
I
nice.
just got the track lighting going on.
Nice.
Very nice.
It worked. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it's probably hot in there too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Gotta love that.
That's
Okay,
cool,
we'll just stay right here for the rest of the show.
And I'm in my son's bedroom right now, so there's not much on the lighting.
So we'll all look in the mirror right now and see what's in the room. There's a crib. There's a...
They used to have Ninja Turtles in there and they fell down, no?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I remember that.
He's like, I don't want to talk about it. Couple $1,000 down the drain.
So got 2 left.
Got 2 left.
Brian makes dioramas. I use Home Assistant to automate all the lighting, and it works triple. Oh, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd like to set mine up for that.
So I shipped out to Brian today my original ESB 3 3/4 figures that I've had sitting around.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
And it was funny because Benjamin was asking, he's like, don't you feel like you're giving up your childhood? I'm like, they've been sitting, not displayed for 35 years at this point. It's like, Brian's going to take them. He's going to display them. He's, goes to a good home.
Yeah, he's going to do good stuff with them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Hector can still. Yeah. Okay. So Brian says he uses the Wemo. Is that right? Plugs that work with the network. He goes, but don't get those. Get stuff that's thread compliant. So basically, it's a plug that's more or less connecting it.
Wi-Fi
and
enabled.
To the,
Great stuff. You guys, seriously, as a layman just coming in, the way you display your collection is top shelf. Beautiful.
Yeah, for me, I just hide wires and do power strips and nothing fancy.
So I got like those Death Star panels.
Oh, that's beautiful. They're lit. Are they illuminated?
Yeah.
Computer.
And they can change colors.
Off.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. Oh my God, that is sweet, man.
And I got 2 of them in the front of the room.
You run that through your computer?
That's what I call my Alexa. Computer. Star Wars room on. And everything comes on.
Wow.
And a Jawa appears.
Yeah. Whoops.
Jawa.
That is awesome.
I need to make one of those.
Yeah,
yes. We need to. I need one too.
Yeah,
so we should just do a Jawa group.
Like I have a Stream Deck too, where I can change colors around.
Yeah, I have a little remote that does all my USB lighting that I have to put up really high so my kids don't get it because I come in and they change the color scheme.
We could do a whole show on lighting.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh, easily.
Dude, I mean, have you ever found yourself like on Amazon just reading through the light? I know I've been there. I'm like just reading reviews and looking at people's setups. I'm like, is this going to work? Is the light too cool? What Kelvin is this?
Right.
I did the same thing. I mean, because I got a shelf back here. I got helmets on, and I went ahead and put. Not only did I make like a track lighting with those little spotlights.
Oh, nice.
I actually took a piece of chair rail. It had a groove in the center. I ran all the wire, popped the holes through it. Ran the T back so that it would shine down on the helmets, but I also took under cabinet lighting, like Jeff got, and put it behind him, but tilted it up towards the back so it would shine light going up the back of it. Sometimes I just use that light and it looks fantastic.
Nice, dude.
See,
and then I have a top shelf up here. I do the same thing.
What you guys all have that I don't have is talent. That's what I don't have.
Well, Scotty can build you.
No, my God.
I can't do that.
Incredible. Just him saying things like chair rail. I'm like, I got to look that up.
A cabinet maker also by trade. So wow. I used to be a cabinet maker, had my own shop. Now I'm a product specialist. And yeah, so,
Scott.
But a lot of us can build and do things. I know, right?
Should you be in bed? Don't you have a golf game tomorrow?
I think we're getting to that next, right?
I was just saying, you got it, baby. Let's get those autographs and signatures going.
Yeah, a couple there.
Yeah, let's talk some Hector.
So let's transition to Hector's story.
Mm-hmm.
So what everybody's been waiting for, a night with Hector in the lounge. So Hector, this part of the show, we'll ask you just some questions.
Mm-hmm.
People in the chat ask questions too. If you want it to be like for us to pick it up, put a hashtag and then ask the question. That way we can see it.
Or do all caps. Something that's
something that stands out. Yeah. But I'll ask the first one to get us started, Hector. So Hector, tell us about yourself and why you like Star Wars.
Your Star Wars journey.
You know what? First and foremost, again, thank you very much for having me on. I didn't know a lot about your show, and I've been having a ball. So thank you very much for having me as a guest. I really appreciate it.
Wow, that could have really gone bad really quick.
Yeah. When we hit the 1 hour mark, it just gets ugly. Just so you know, it gets real ugly, and we're fighting.
No, I really thank you much. I'm 49 years old, so I was born in that sweet spot. I was 3 or 4 years old when Star Wars was released in 1977. I still have that kind of primitive memory of my parents taking me to see that first showing of Star Wars. I don't remember anything from the screening except 2 images, which was Darth Vader and Princess Leia's hair. I remember that. And I grew up in that era. I was born in 1973, so I grew up arguing after The Empire Strikes Back whether or not Darth Vader was telling the truth about Luke and his father. I think anyone who was born in that era, and not to say that there aren't female fans, but if you were a boy, even more so, I think you were, chemically required to like Star Wars. There was no way to escape it. There's no way you could not like it, because unlike today, as you all know, right now our kids are born and they've got this endless stream of choices, and this was mind blowing. This was world changing. Yeah. So it got imprinted onto my brain like everybody else, and it's never let go. Now there have been periods of dormancy where we're kind of quiet, but. Sure. When I discovered girls, for example, but then
right,
that's all of our problem.
Yeah,
I came back, the bed.
And my wife and I joke. She and I met in February of '98, and literally like a month or two later, they announced the prequels. So I was like, "Oh my God, I know I'm going to go nuts." So she better know this about me right now.
Like, here's the test of the relationship.
It absolutely was. I approached it as that I approached it as though I was going to tell her that I was, an amputee, or that I couldn't read. There's something you need to know about me, and awesome. This might be a deal breaker for you, but I'm a Star Wars fan. And when you say that, I don't think she got the magnitude of it. You know what I mean? She just didn't understand. And I don't know if you remember that when the Phantom Menace was released, there was still no assigned seating at movie theaters. Fandango wasn't really a thing. You had to go buy the tickets at the movie theater and get in line. I knew she was the one because I had to work and I had no days off left, and she went and stood in line for Phantom Menace tickets for 9 hours.
Oh, wow.
In Chicago. So I was like, wow, she's the one. She is. And awesome. And to tie it into autographs, I went to Celebration 2 in Indianapolis. That was my first celebration. I don't know if any of you were there, but
2019. Yeah, Jason and I were there.
That was my first celebration. I was blown away. It was significant because it was one of Carrie Fisher's first ever autograph shows, and her line was enormous. And my then fiance, she got in line again for like 8 or 9 hours. I kept coming back. To the line and telling her. She said, "Go and get other things." She stayed in the line. Little communities formed in the line, And I said, I came back every hour or so. I said, "Babe, it's ridiculous. You're never going to make it. Don't do it." She stuck it out, and we got her autograph. But that was the day before they did line management and come back. When a certain range of numbers is being called, it was
they were still trying to figure it out.
Yeah. But anyway, that's why I love Star Wars. I'm going to ramble a lot tonight, Evan. So you got
no, please,
no worries, man.
Please.
Because this part of the show is all you.
Yeah.
What was your first action figure?
My first action figure. God, I was so young. I might have gotten one or two, but it was I remember it being either Chewbacca or Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I can't remember which one. But I was, my father was a machinist. We never wanted for anything, but we didn't have certainly, extravagances or anything like that. So I never had a huge collection. Like I was the kid with one stormtrooper, and I had to make, pretend that there was a million stormtroopers because one.
Right.
So it was always Luke, Han, R2. It was like 6 good guys against one stormtrooper in my
Guy didn't have a chance. Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, I had to.
We had a Mork and Mindy figure in there to kind of fill out the range.
Why not?
I used to cut the pictures out of the back of the card so I had more stormtroopers.
Yeah, right.
That's
I
funny.
lived next to the kid. His name was Russell Simmons, and I'll never forget. He had everything. He had every figure. He had.
You always had one of those kids.
Yeah, I had a friend like that.
Hey guys, let's get together later on and play Star Wars. Bring your guys. I'll bring my guys. But then we get together and say, "Don't touch my guys. Just don't mix them up. Don't touch them."
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a chance for him to show us his stuff. That was all it was.
My wife was asking, "Where are you from, Hector?"
Oh, I'm from Chicago. I grew up in the city of Chicago. I now live in the suburbs of Chicago, Orland Park, southwest suburbs. But grown, child of Mexican parents. I lived in Mexico for a good many years too. So Mexican American, but live in Orland Park, Illinois, suburbs.
Gotcha.
So can I ask you a quick question about your wall color choice there? Was that for reduction or reflection on your TV screen, or you just like the color gray?
No, you know what? I didn't even know that was a thing. No, I just like the color.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Thank you.
Looks
I'm not
slick.
that sophisticated, Jason. Thank you for.
You put it in a projection screen, it'll be great. You'll
Jason is an audiovisual nerd.
I am an AV nerd. I got a home theater here in the adjoining room, but no, I hadn't picked it because of that. No, this is my office, so I do my day job here. I do hobby stuff here, and that's playing while I'm doing my day job. You know what I mean? So
that's a nice setup.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I like that DeLorean back there.
Yeah,
that's.
You guys know Hot Toys. That's a Hot Toys thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
which one?
So
I get to talk your language now. That's a 1/6 scale.
Yep.
No, wait.
DeLorean.
Yes, 1/6 scale.
It's a big boy.
Awesome.
Yes.
Hector, you ran Hector ran a signature project on that, correct?
I did. So in addition to Star Wars, it's funny. We're going to start with Back to the Future, but
that's all right.
And I have another group called 88 Miles Per Hour Ink. Clever, huh?
Oh wow, yeah. Slick.
Anyway, one of the things I try to focus on with autographs, and we'll get into a lot more, obviously, but most people that
Thank you. That was quick.
Most people's entry point to autographs in any for anything, be it for any movie, Star Wars, Back to the Future, is usually the actors, which completely makes sense. That's what you associate with autographs traditionally. I was always that kid
This
that
is gonna be Lamp.
I grew up reading Cinefantastique, the making up magazines, Fangoria. If I went to a magazine shelf, that's what I gravitated to.
Nice.
So I was always fascinated with how these movies were made, because to me that story is as compelling and as exciting as what wound up on the screen. But Back to the Future, to me, when I started that group, it was like, everybody's got Michael J. Fox's autograph or Christopher Lloyd. The DeLorean is as much of a character in that film as anything.
Absolutely.
Like, let me do a project that focuses on the people that brought that car to the screen. So that's what I did. That was during the pandemic when I did that, and we got about 8 or 9 of the key department heads that brought the full scale cars to the screen, as well as the visual effects models.
I remember that project. That was amazing, Hector. I think that's when I first figured out that you were in separate groups now too.
I was. So I didn't set out when any of this began to start autograph groups or start a group in general. I met a bunch of people on the Rebel Scum forums. I had
where did that come from?
You said signature.
Oh, sorry.
That's right.
It's gonna happen a lot.
Yeah, but who triggered it, Evan?
Me.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I met a lot of people on the Rebel Scum forums, and it was more about I just wanted, literally, the way I kind of dipped a toe in all this was I wanted Harrison Ford's autograph, and I at the time naive.
You can keep going.
You're good. You're good, Hector.
I'm going to figure out other ways to say it.
This is the brutality of the show. Just saying.
Yes.
This is going to be Lamp.
Well, yeah, Toy and Lamp were horrible ones for us in the past. So we still shudder. Yeah.
Trigger words.
I wanted Harrison Ford's John Hancock. So,
there you go. There you go.
Nice.
And at the time, naively, I didn't know that wasn't an easy thing to acquire. So I created this little subgroup of people, literally 5 or 6 guys that live in Chicago, to share information on when celebrities come to town. And Harrison Ford was coming to promote a film called Extraordinary Measures with Brendan Fraser. It was a very small film.
What year was this, Hector?
This was 2010.
Okay.
It's about 12 years ago, and he was a producer on the film. And he did a week-long press tour, and I noticed he was going to be here on a Thursday. I watched YouTube, and I saw that he was in Dallas, and he signed for about 4 or 5 people, and he went down the line. It had never occurred to me to go out and try to get somebody's autograph at an event or oh, good Lord. Whoever's
you're good. You're good.
Really dead on. Impressive. Very impressive.
And if you're the speaker, you can just keep going. And
you can
make us all suffer. Yeah.
No, I want to be part of it. I want to be what you guys are doing. So it never occurred to me to go to try to get somebody's handwritten name. Yeah. I'm going to run out of ways to say it. But
scroll.
I went, and I was the first person he signed for that night. Good Lord, I said signed.
Oh, double whammy.
And that's actually the autograph. Let me see if I can show it. It's on the floor. That's right. It fell.
Oh,
that
nice.
Somebody's going to be on the floor soon. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to go off cam just for a sec.
That's one of the iconic pictures, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
First of all.
So this was my very first.
That's awesome.
That's freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Just say it. Just say
Harrison
it.
Ford scribbled name.
I love that.
That's a good street. That's a good street graph for him too.
It is.
Yeah, man.
I think at the time he was. I saw him kind of do a double take, and he liked the photo. So he actually took a beat to make sure he wrote his name in a good place and really legibly too. So I'm pretty happy with that.
He could have easily written on that vest, and you would have been like, "Really, dude?"
Yeah. Right across his face.
That'd be his mentality too.
Signing in dark areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm there. Hold on.
So that was your first one, Hector?
No, that was my first in person. That was my first in person. My first one ever.
So let me ask you this real quick, because you actually met him, and it was your first thing that you did with the scribbly stuff.
Yeah.
What was going through your brain when you were actually sitting there going, "Oh my God, I'm looking right at Harrison Ford"?
I have no shame in saying I was starstruck, absolutely starstruck. And even at the time, I didn't normally get starstruck, but with him, I got weak in the knees.
Yeah.
You got stupid.
A little bit like,
for me, it's because it's not just Han Solo. It's friggin' Indiana Jones.
It's all of it. No, it's just all of it.
Let me tell you this: if you've ever been in front of him, he looks like $1 million. He looks like a movie star. And good Lord, the man's a beautiful thing to see in person.
How was he? Was he a nice guy? Did he look at you?
He was very pleasant, very nice. Yeah. Again, I was the first person, and then he went down the line, and people started to push, and then he got a little bit like, "Hey, if you guys don't back up, I'm walking away." And if anybody knows anything about these situations, when Harrison says he's done, he's done. He won't pick up that moment.
Yeah.
So that kind of lit a fuse under me that hasn't been extinguished since. So that kind of has set me on this path.
So there's a question for you on the screen there. What's your favorite Star Wars character?
I know that's it's a very good question. I think that tells a lot about a lot of people about fandom. I would say it's hands down Luke Skywalker. I think to me, I grew up, I was that kid, and I think it really cemented itself with one scene in The Empire Strikes Back, and that's when he single-handedly takes down an Imperial Walker. And that you guys are already dead. Am I missing one?
Don't let those things distract you.
Yeah, because this is coming up too. Here's one. Here's another one. Our friends love to see us hurt.
They're bitter people. They're bitter people.
I'm glad I'm not drinking because I'd get alcohol poisoning at this rate.
Oh, easily. Me
Some
either.
of us fall down in the hallway.
Yeah.
I drink energy drinks, so I'm usually up for like the next 4 days after these shows.
He's wired. Go ahead, Jay.
Is Empire Strikes Back I know you have the Bespin jacket. What's your favorite Luke look? Like there's the pilot outfit, the Bespin. I like the black Return outfit.
Return of the Jedi.
So many sweet looks, and it almost becomes like a mood. Like, right now I'm in a Bespin fatigues mood. The Jedi look is phenomenal. It's crisp from the lines top to bottom are beautiful. The hood, everything. I like the X-wing outfit, but the one from Empire where it's a little bit more insulated. It's got the stick-up collar.
Yeah, coffee jacket.
Absolutely. I mean, those uniforms, those costumes are truly indelibly iconic. And you see them and immediately identify a scene, a mood. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I think one of the reasons I like the Empire Strikes Back Bespin Fatigues outfit is because it perfectly captures this transitional period for him where he's not quite a Jedi, but he's still a little bit of the farm boy and soldier because he's got both the lightsaber and the blaster on it. And it's that perfect in between. And the colors are not white. It's not black. It's dingy gray now. It's such a perfect symbol of where he's at in his journey.
Well, and you know what, too, when you think about it, when he starts with that outfit, it's clean and pristine.
Yes.
By the end,
it's dirty.
That thing is torn up. I mean, it's incredible. Yeah.
What about you guys? What are your favorite costumes from the saga?
Vader. The whole outfit is probably got to be one of my favorites. Yeah.
You know what's funny about that, though, Scott? I was thinking about this the other day.
I don't care what you think.
Yeah,
no, go ahead.
That's been made abundantly clear. No. See, I told you 1 hour mark, we just start getting ugly.
Yeah.
No, there was a period of time there, like in the late 80s, early 90s, where it was kind of like fun to poke at Vader, right? Just it was goofy. It was a baseball helmet. And you think about to now, it's to use Hector's word, it's indelible.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody questions that as an incredible design.
It does it. You see that the evil side in the design, what they were going after, but two, there's also a specific look. If the mask is off by a maker or something like that, you look at it and you go, yeah, it's a Vader mask, but it's not Vader. It's not him.
Right.
There's only a few out there that you look at and you go, that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
and that's the difference.
One I have downstairs when I sit there. I look at it.
That's one of them. I mean, even like Bookface, so Skunk Props, I think, or whatever, in the UK, he does a great job. Mike Warren does a fantastic job on a Vader helmet. Shadow FX, any of those guys, they nail it. They nail it, whether if it's ESB, Return of the Jedi, or A New Hope. And they're different. Each one of them are different. And they nail it. But like I said, there's very few out there that really hit it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I thought when I was a kid, Hector, the Luke's costume with the all black, I thought that was what all Jedis wore. When he's like, I'm a Jedi, like my mom, like, oh, all Jedis wore all black garb like that, right? That's my favorite for sure.
I get it.
Design. It's such a beautiful design.
It's sleek. That green lightsaber.
Yep.
So
and
cool.
I didn't notice until I was much older that when he walks in and he's initially wearing a vest with some tabards, it looks. I thought as a kid it was all black, but it's kind of gray. It's a dark gray.
Yeah.
That's the magic of film.
I have the Hot Toys, and you can when he's in Jabba's palace, it's different than when he's meeting Vader later.
Yes, absolutely. And it's similar to the whole debate about
Brian.
It's similar to the debate about Han's parka on Hoth, whether or not it's
blue or brown. Blue or brown.
I think the actual costume piece is brown, but to me it always read as blue on screen.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
I remember being at the cerebral palsy telethon. This was back in the mid 80s. And I remember looking at, I don't know if you guys remember Three's a Crowd. So it was Three's Company, and then they did Three's a Crowd. So the girl that played Vicky, his girlfriend, wife, or whatever at the time, I'm looking at her live, and she has a blue sweater on. And I'm looking at the return feed from the cameras into the monitors, and it's purple. Wow. And that was the first time I ever noticed that the coloring's different, and also about the 11 seconds or whatever it was delay time between live and sending out. So yeah, that always tripped me out. But it's the same thing with especially films back then that were done in film. Coloring and everything else that they've done is totally different. And even today with more digital stuff, they're still being colored. You've got all that going through it.
To that point,
color timing.
Back to the Future fans still debate the color of Marty's vest and Back to the Future. Is it orange? Is it red? It always read to me as orange.
To me, I don't care unless I'm trying to either buy the prop, make the prop, or it's important to me. Because once I know something's off, it will drive me insane. Well, if I don't, I'm in bliss, and I'm like, all over the place.
Here you guys are statue collectors. Let's say they issue a Han Solo Hoth Park outfit.
Ooh.
You want it to be real world accurate, or in-universe blue as you saw on screen.
So Sideshow sold both in the one.
They did both.
Yeah,
Columbia did one, didn't they?
Yeah.
Brown. It's brown.
Right. Columbia did.
What did you buy, Jeff?
I have a custom Tauntaun. It's brown.
Brown.
So I know it's brown, but in my mind's eye, it's blue.
Right.
I'm with Jason. It's
I would personally buy the blue one just because I grew up as it being a blue parka.
That's your Star
We have a life-size Han in our living room, and it's brown.
Brown.
It's brown.
I have a Han right there.
Well,
it's brown.
Does it bother you?
The vintage figure. The vintage figure is blue, so it already plants in your mind when you bought it.
Yeah.
It is blue, right?
Yep.
So for me, my favorite is Luke on Tatooine. That outfit, the farm boy outfit.
Good outfit.
That's classic, man. The two sons.
Yeah, he's got the karate gi on the top, and then he's got moccasins on the bottom.
The wraps around the boots.
The wraps around the legs. Yeah,
man. That's like the prints I got from Bottleneck. I love the fact that that's the outfit he's wearing.
The boots thing they kept doing, because even like the Hoth boots have a certain wrap, and yeah, I agree, they are cool.
I don't want to talk about autographs, guys. I want to talk about this.
Next week you're back for autographs. We'll just
yeah, we can just keep talking about it.
Well, no, let's talk about does Frank Oz do many scrawls for Yoda?
That's a good one. Right. He's
ADD kicked in.
He's generally good in the street. He won't do an organized one. I've asked him many times, and he's always personally politely declined and given me a reason. He doesn't have to give me a reason. He doesn't have to reply.
Sure.
Right.
And he's always been very good about saying it would feel wrong to charge for this. And I'm using words I wouldn't use just because I'm trying to avoid the interruptions here. But it's putting a real cramp in my style.
So Hector, when you talk to these people, do you talk to them on the phone, or do you have to go through an agent?
It varies. I generally go through representation first, and then sometimes it depends on the talent. Some are comfortable then dealing with me directly. Sometimes I go to my focus is behind the scenes. Frank Oz falls in that category, but he's also on a different level. He's also a still working feature film director, so he still very actively works with representation. Mm-hmm. I reached out to him through representation initially, but then he replied to me directly, which was a surprise.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Not everybody does that. But then I've reached out to him periodically over the years. And the angle I've wanted to work is, hey, I know I completely respect that you don't want to charge for your written name. But what if? What if?
I thought you said signature.
What if we do a session and your fee goes to charity?
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
He actually liked the idea and said, "Let me think about it." And then he came back and said, you know what? I can't rationalize to myself. It still feels like I'm charging and it doesn't feel right. And he says, tell me what you would have paid me and I'll make the check out to the charity. And he did.
Oh my God. But that's
crap.
not what, I mean, that's cool,
Yeah,
but that's not.
It's cool, but I was like, God damn you and your uncompromised.
There's two things I want to.
What if you tell him it's not a signature for Star Wars, but it's for Trading Places and American Werewolf in London? That's
I don't think. I think in his particular case, I don't think it's because of Star Wars. I think he's happy to sign Star Wars. The one thing I know he doesn't sign on the streets is.
Whoops, sorry.
Interestingly, what he doesn't sign on the streets is Yoda with him in the photo. He will only sign photos where it's only the puppet. He doesn't like to take the magic away. So,
I like that.
What if you had a picture of him when he was in, what was it, Spies Like Us, right? He was in Spies Like Us?
He will. If he's acting, he will. He'll
Got it.
put ink on that one.
Yeah, but
he
he's
won't put
acting
ink on him with the Muppets from Sesame Street, the Muppets, or Yoda.
Like
American Werewolf in London and the Rude Cop in Trading Places.
Yes, he'll do that. So I could definitely, but that wouldn't have been an issue. I would have just had photos of Yoda, and that wouldn't have been a problem. Yeah. But it got this close. It got this close, and it didn't.
I think the other thing when you charge, regardless of the amount, you kind of qualify the people that want to do it. Now there are things out there that are outrageous and others that are fair, but usually you're qualifying your people so you don't have 6,000 people in line trying to get that. Right. Because if it was for free, you would.
Right.
But I did have a question, and I'm wondering if we could go backwards here.
By all means.
Okay with you. How did this all start for you getting into what you're doing now? In other words, like
organizing them. Yeah, I started as
and I want to add to that real quick. Like, how did you make the contacts to reach these people?
That's a great question. So let me start with how it actually really truly began. Like I said, I was that weird kid that didn't just like the actors. I knew Mark Hamill, I knew Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, like everybody else. But I was the kid reading the magazine, and I'm like Phil Tippett, Dennis Muren, Joe Johnston.
You were doing the deep dive. You were doing the deep dive.
I was doing the deep dive in the pre-internet era. And my favorite Star Wars creation of all time, bar none, is the Imperial Walker. That got seared into my cerebral cortex the moment I saw it, and it's never let go. There was just something majestic and hypnotic and scary and imposing about these things. I still remember them coming over the ridge when I saw it in 1980. And to me, that sequence hasn't aged a day. It looks phenomenal.
So Scott has a question for you.
Yes. AT-AT or AT-AT?
For me, it's AT-AT.
I jumped ahead before Scott got to it. I'm like, I know Scott's going to throw the question.
Oh, you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
Who here is arguing for AT-AT?
There's certain people.
We have a few fans or guys that are on the chat.
We have a good friend that actually is 501st as he calls it, an AT-AT driver. I call him an AT-AT driver.
I can definitely see the argument for AT-AT because it would be like military terminology. I can definitely see that. I think for me it was always just a shorthand. I certainly don't think I ever heard it pronounced in anywhere official.
Not in the movie, but in the toy commercials.
They say AT-AT?
Yeah. That's probably where it got drilled into our heads as kids if you grew up anywhere in that time, you know.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. So anyway, I had this group of literally 15, 20 people now sharing information about in-person written things. And I said, I really would like to have something that commemorates the Imperial Walker. I want to have something that has all the names of the people that worked on it. And even though I knew a lot about it, I didn't know as much as I know now. And I thought that maybe about 10 or 15 people had worked on that. And in reality, it was more like 40. And I thought, how hard can it be to get them? It was very hard, and it took a long time. But that's how it started. I said, I'm going to work on something. Would you guys like to participate too? I think if enough of us get together, I can make something happen. And I had become friends. You guys are familiar with the Replica Prop Forum?
Yes.
RPF.
The RPF. Back in the day, back in the late 90s, mid 2000s, early to mid 2000s, I was there all the time during the prequel era. I was there daily. That was my stop every day. I have no talent
you were making
whatsoever
props,
for that.
or you just wanted information?
I was just for information, and it was that at the time they were really all about the AT-ATs and the Falcon, and I was really into that. It coincided with the birth of Master Replicas around 2002.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So Master Replicas released an AT-AT in 2004, and I got it in another room, and I went crazy for that thing.
Do you have that piece?
I do have that piece. It cost $1,200 at the time, which I thought was at the time.
They're going for like almost $8 now or more.
I thought at the time, oh my God, it's insanity.
What you know?
But yeah, it's still there. Again, that's one of those things that will be in my sarcophagus. That's going into the grave with me.
So initially, Hector, this started out for you wanting to get everybody's.
That's how it started.
Squigglies on your thing, and you're like, wait a minute, I could get some help. Hey, if you guys want to do it, we can do it for you too. And that's
how it started. I became friends. I met a guy on the RPF named Don Bees, and at the time I had no idea.
You had no idea you were talking to.
I had no idea who he was, that he was involved
that's
in
funny.
films. No clue. I became friends with him for literally like 6 or 7 months before I had any idea that he was connected with the films.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice guy, and we're legitimate, true. I try to make a distinction that while I've had signings with all these people all these years, hundreds of signings, that does not mean I'm friends with them. I'm friendly with a lot of them.
Right.
But true friendships, I can count on 2 or 3 fingers. Don is one of them now. We get together. I go to his place. He comes when he comes to town.
Yeah, but they also have to see you as somebody that's trusted. Otherwise, you wouldn't even come into it.
So he vouched for me initially with John Berg. And the reason he was John Berg was a stop motion animator on Empire and Jedi, and he was very good friends with Don, and was actually in Don Bees' wedding as one of the ushers and one of the groomsmen.
That's cool.
So that was my in point. Then John Berg said, "Hey, well, do you know who Phil Tippett is?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think I've heard of him."
He's the one that basically put your AT-AT together. Yeah.
So that started it. That started the snowball rolling, and I didn't realize it at the time, but those first impressions were critical. I had this feeling that if I showed up with a Star Wars T-shirt and being all fanboyish, that it wouldn't work. That wouldn't be a good impression.
You have to be yourself. You have to be who you are.
I went in very professional. I went extremely professional, and they started to tell each other about it, because one of the things that has helped, because I focus on behind the scenes, many of these folks are already retired. A lot of them are on fixed incomes. So this is a really nice supplement to them.
Right.
And they started to tell each other about me and said, hey, there's this guy who's focusing on us, not the actors. They rarely get invited to conventions, because I think what convention runners found was that it costs as much to bring them and have them use a booth space than it does for an actor, and they generally don't have the same traffic as actors. So to bring them and pay for their airfare and their lodging and their meals isn't the most cost-effective thing to do. So they've brought a couple of them that are more names every now and then, but generally it's 1 or 2 per show. And now it's almost nobody. So that's the space I play in. People that don't get invited to conventions, that the average fan is not going to get to see.
That's right.
That's really cool.
Not only that they don't get invited, people that would never go even if invited. They're like, no, not for me. Thanks.
So didn't Don Bees at one point, wasn't he taking care of the archives up there at some point?
Yeah, that was his first foray. And he started, I think, I can't remember what he did first. His first feature film was The Fly in 1986. And he was the archivist at Skywalker Ranch. He was in charge of the film archives. But I don't remember which came first of those two. He then went on to become a model maker and droid control supervisor for the prequels. But definitely he began his life with Lucasfilm at the ranch in the archives.
I saw an interview with him. Yeah, he looks like an amazing person and willing to share a wealth full of knowledge, which is so cool.
He is one of the kindest human beings.
That's okay.
He's unbelievably friendly and nice.
Yeah.
He's that rare person who has got that pedigree and connection to the films that doesn't hoard it and doesn't alienate fans. He's almost a fan ambassador. He considers himself a fan first. So I owe a lot of all this to him, and I'll never stop saying that.
No, that's cool. Hector, just out of curiosity, like I know like Star Wars has picked back up again for a lot of the behind the scenes guys, right? I mean, talk a little bit about like how do they view this right now? Like are they like surprised that people are still very interested in them? And I know you talk about it on your other on the channel and on your live chats, but
I'm happy
how engaged are they? Like are they just shocked?
They are perennially surprised and just unbelievably grateful. The mass majority. Now, as many people as I encounter, that's they're the spectrum of human personalities. You have introverts and extroverts, people that are more vocal than others. But I think the through line with all of them is great gratitude that their work is endured and that it still has not only an audience but people that would pay for it, and they're just incredibly grateful. And they are. I always try to say to them, I am the vessel and the person here in front of you, but I'm coming on the backs of 40 to 100 to 200 people that are asking me to get your autograph. So it's not just me.
Good. You're good. Keep going. Keep going.
But these people, and what's great is the people in these groups are from around the world. So and I show them the names on the back. Look, this person's from Japan, Australia, the Netherlands, Germany, South America, Central America, North America. I think the only continents that have not been represented in these sessions have been Africa and the poles, but otherwise everything else is covered. So they are shocked and blown away that anybody would want something from their work 40 years ago.
Well, I think that's part of it, and you touched on it earlier. Is I think probably pre-internet, people just wanted the stars of the movie. And it wasn't until we had access to the information to know the people that really helped build this legacy. You didn't know who these people were unless you got the text, unless you got, the magazines or the books. We didn't have the internet. So now that you know the people that actually built this IP, it's like, they're rock stars to us. So they've got to have a kind of found, fame that they didn't have.
There's two things I want to build on with what you just said. You're absolutely right. They are rock stars to me. A lot of what I do in my groups is educate people on, and I bring some names like Phil Tippett and Dennis Muren, a lot of people know, but then I do also do things with people that no one's ever heard of. And no one gets into this autograph hobby to get like Claudia Everett's autograph. She was she worked on costumes for the Jedi, but
Marcel, says there's a tab at the bottom. Yeah, you can see it. You can see it.
I appreciate it.
Good eye, Marcel.
He's drinking tab.
Yeah, there's an actual tab down there.
But I try to educate. Say, hey, look, she did the headdresses for the one of Jabba's dancers. She did it for the Emperor's advisors. So it's. I try to. The connection for everybody isn't so much the name; it's what they worked on.
Yeah,
people have emotional connections to the things on screen. Harrison Ford flew the Millennium Falcon, but Joe Johnston, Dennis Muren, they built the Galaxy and the Falcon and made it fly for them.
And those were things I didn't know 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I didn't know those things 15 years ago.
Well, I used to think of it like this, it's all George Lucas. It's all George Lucas. And a lot of it is, don't get me wrong, but it's also the perfect storm. If it wasn't those guys that became ILM, if it wasn't Marcia Lucas, if it wasn't
those misfits coming together.
If it wasn't Elstray's studio, if it wasn't it wouldn't have worked. It had to all be exactly what it was.
It's the happiest of accidents, like I say. It's just the happiest
amalgam of all these talents. And remember when it was made in an era before the internet, an era before computers. The best these guys could find was a local Radio Shack. These guys came together and had to invent the processes for these movies to get made.
Yeah.
And they did it with pure raw talent and know-how. They brought George's talent was pulling the right people together and saying, find me the right mix and talents that we need. George Lucas probably didn't know what a vacuum form machine was, but he got Lorne Peterson, and Lorne did know that we needed that machine to make TIE fighters on kind of an assembly line.
Right.
So these guys were incredibly talented. Well, the best spin back. I feel like that one is just to be able to say signature.
Show him the
yeah.
lining.
Oh yeah, they instigate. They instigate all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't feel very genuine.
Benjamin's buying this jacket right now.
I want to buy this jacket. This thing is
There's
sick.
the lining.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's got the rebel, the Jedi symbol.
Heroes and villains.
Oh, that's cool.
That is badass.
That's a great.
This is a little bit off accuracy, but I like it. It's got the little rebel patch there. That
That's
should be
good,
there.
man.
No,
Let's
that's
see
cool.
I'm trying to remember the name of the company. I can't remember it. I'll follow up with you guys. There's no tag in it, so I can't remember who made it.
That's a great jacket, though.
It's all good.
Thank you.
I can remember back in the day there was a TV show on the behind the scenes, and I think Ben Bird, was the sound designer of where he smacked the wire that goes up and holds the pull for the blaster sound. I was like, oh my god, that.
Oh yeah, that
so cool.
And you can also hear the TIE fighters sometimes. If you're ever standing on the side of the freeway and a semi goes by, you can hear that's part of that sound.
It is.
As it goes
by.
by.
That's actually a very good point about Ben Bird. Everyone, when they hear that I focus on behind the scenes, they assume that it's only ILM. ILM, admittedly, is a big portion of behind the scenes, but I do everything from directors, producers, costume designers, audio engineers, sound mixers. Everybody who had a significant part on the films is fair game, and that's what I focus on.
Did you get pink short guy with no shirt?
Yeah, the guy in the pink shorts.
Yes,
you got him for real?
He's passed away, sadly.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
But that guy was like my hero. It's like, dude.
A lot of people dressed up like him at the last celebration.
He was out there and proud. He was hot and said, "You know what? Screw it. This is."
Well, it wasn't that. It was that he had pink shorts on. That was the whole thing, because it didn't quite come in. It wasn't until the mid '80s that pink eyes and all that. Yeah.
This is who I am.
Yes, exactly. I'm a gaffer.
They don't care.
With a large crowd.
Yeah.
Yep. So Hector, tell us about your signing with Phil Tippett. How'd that go?
So this past Saturday, a week ago tomorrow, I was at Tippett's studio for a signing with Phil Tippett, Dennis Murin, and John Berg.
Awesome. Oh my gosh!
I affectionately call the Big Three.
Wow.
They really are. My first sessions with them were in October of 2011. At the time, it was John Berg and Phil Tippett only. A year later, I repeated with them and added Dennis Murin to the mix. And I've been doing almost an annual to semi-annual session with them. And every year, the volumes for them go up and up and up. It's insane. There's just every year I say there is no way I can ever offer them again, because the first year, I think it was 500 pieces, which was already insane. This last week, we had 2,100 individual pieces. Ooh. And jeez. I want to say combined, because the combinations of 2 and 3 touched all of them. So wow. I want to say, I think it was about 2,900 total signatures.
So what's the secret to getting them to want to keep doing it?
They do like the money. That's the reality. They get paid. I think what you're getting at is why they still do it with me. And I think that's because I try to treat them. I try to make them feel like rock stars. That to me, that's
they
what
they are though.
It's not hard for me to treat them like rock
well,
stars.
Well, if you handle everything and make it easy, and all they have to do is just show up, or even if you set that up for where they're going, and hey, this car is going to come pick you up, and blah blah. Well, no, yeah, I'm going to always go back to you.
I go to them. I make everything as simple as possible. I'm insanely organized, and that's due to my OCD. But the other thing is, I know their work. So when it isn't just them sitting down and putting pen to paper. You got to keep them engaged. These are 2 or 3 hours of doing this. So in those moments where we're quiet, I can engage them on.
You're not just there for commercial purposes. You're a fan. You appreciate.
They can tell the fan radiates for me, and I'll be able to ask them, hey, what kind of camera, what kind of f-stop we're using. And so I do my research before I get anywhere near that session.
That's so
Hector,
cool.
Can you talk about, because I know you posted a video of it, which I thought was great. How did that interaction with Phil go on when he was like, well, this was kind of like a messed up shot. We wanted to recut this. Like, how did you get him to talk about that, or did he just randomly talk?
he randomly spoke about that one in that particular case, and I grabbed my phone and put the video on because whenever he gets in the zone of telling stories, I get the phone out and pick it up. But anyway, he got a photo of a tauntaun, and he's like, do you know the story behind this shot? And I'm like, I probably do know the story, but I'm not going to say yes. You don't have to tell it.
Yeah, you tell me.
Don't even know.
No, I've heard it, so please don't worry about it. No. I said I probably have, but please. What would you like to share? Well, this shot in the film, this almost was George almost approved a piece of crap. I didn't like this one. The first take was terrible. And I picked it up, but the first take was terrible. We're in dailies, and he looks at it, and then I didn't know the puppet that well. You gotta play with these things a little bit. And it was one of my early takes, and the tauntaun skipped a beat, and it didn't look right. And George said, "It's good. Lock and load, print. That's good." And I said, "No, George, it looks terrible. Please let me have another shot." And remember, George is balancing creativity with budget. That's a reality.
Commercialism, yeah.
So he's saying, no, it's fine. It's George, please. He's like, all right, one more. He said, oh, thank you, because that was a piece of shit. So
I would like to see what that piece of shit was.
Quoting Phil Tippett. He's quite colorful in his language.
Yep.
So Joel, the picture he looked at, and Hector, correct me if I'm wrong, it was the picture of like Luke on top of the snowy mountain, right, looking back, kind of like over.
Yes. Yes, okay. It's the famous shot of when he crests the hill on the tauntaun and he kind of pulls back a little bit. It's this beautiful stop motion animation that he did. When you watch those shots, there's kind of it's indefinable. It's like a magic to the way that creature moves, and it's because they didn't half-ass it. They studied animal movements. They studied the gaits of horses as they run. So even though we've never seen some kind of bipedal snow reptile, when it moves, it makes sense to us because it has a basis in nature.
There's a mass. You feel that there's a mass behind the herpes.
Yes, there's a weight to it.
Yeah, there's a
weight. The movement, the locomotion of the animal all makes sense. The weight distribution of the rider as it gallops all was factored in. It's a beautiful thing. I get passionate about this stuff.
I liked that video too because people were commenting, because I can appreciate that too, where people were commenting in the group and they were saying, I'm sure Hector was behind the scenes going, will you put the pin down? Because the whole time he's holding the pin.
All right, yeah.
So
that's the other part. I think I have a marker here.
Like the marker's drying out while he's telling the story. And Hector's probably back there going, remember, swap that pin.
Phil is in the middle of signing hundreds of items, right? So he signs it and he says, do you know the story of what happened here? All right, well, let me tell you. And he gets into this position, which means it's going to be a long story. Not only is the cap off of the marker, it's the tip
running back.
So the ink is flowing back into the reservoir, right?
That's why signatures are always dry.
Yeah, so now I'm panicking. Nice. So I'm listening to the story, which is great. I've got to be engaged in that regard. But I'm watching that marker, and I know that next line is going to be crap. It's going to be a dry streak, and he doesn't retrace. So I've learned now. So when he's done with his story, okay, I'm going to steal that marker and change
give you a fresh one.
Because this is now a dead marker by the time he's done telling the story.
So how many markers do you need to bring to the Phil?
Oh, it's an industrial amount. It's an industrial quantity. When you think about the sheer number of items, funny. I don't think, it's hard for me to grasp it, and I'm here with it. Try to think of what 2,100 individual items looks like.
Crazy.
God, I would think his hand would cramp up.
Yeah. Well, I've learned now that I've been doing this I can't believe I've been doing this over 11 years. You learn how to pace it. You learn how to time it. And when I know the number of items and I can tell them I'm going to need 3 to 4 hours or whatever, we build breaks in. It's not one continuous stream. Otherwise, it's inhuman. They wouldn't do that.
Hector, how do you keep it all like? I think 500 is a lot, but 2,100, right? And I know you're very specific as far as like the order process and getting things in, and as far as covering that. Like, how do you keep all of that organized? Do you have help from your side, or is it just you, or how do you keep all of it?
Over the course of 11 years, I have had help. In the initial years, I had a couple of partners, and we would all work together. And sometimes things would be shipped directly to California. life has taken its ups and downs and different turns, and they've kind of gone off and done their own things, or they've stopped being on the organization side of the hobby. So now it's primarily just me, because I also happen to live in Chicago and not near anybody else. It's just me. And one of the things that I have that benefits me is I am OCD. It's not a joke. I'm very obsessive and detailed. And when people send me items, I have to break them down and then consolidate everything. And all the like photos are together. All the same photos are together in one group. All the same. Then there are people that want black, blue, silver, gold, or different inks. So it's separated by ink colors. So we're minimizing the transfer of pens. If we were switching pens between every photo, it would never finish.
Right.
So that's part of it, and it's challenging, because it's got to get everything from here to California in most cases, and sometimes Europe. I've been all over the world for these things, getting them through airports, getting the one bane of my existence is posters. So understandably, people want these signatures on their rolled posters.
Don't they? I know from the other groups too before, Hector, like sometimes people send their posters in like bomb proof, like they PVC wrap it and seal it, so you got to like cut the damn pipe apart.
That is a nightmare. I totally get it. People send me their items,
sure,
and they are wrapped to hell.
That's gotta be annoying.
A documentary on me just trying to break into their packaging, and the poster people it'll be double and triple tube with, like you said, PVC piping,
capped
and just trying to get through those layers. It's infuriating. I could easily become an abusive father because of these things.
It's like glitter bombing somebody.
Yeah.
When you do these signings, Hector, and you were talking about getting help with people, have you ever flown co-hosts from shows from Tampa and stuff to come help you with these signings with Phil Tippett? Because we got 6 people that would love to help next time, so.
I would be happy to do it. There is a financial aspect to the signings. So for a signing to be viable, it's got to cover the travel. It's got to cover the lodging. And I travel basic, I'm in the back in steerage, and
You're shoveling the coal into the Titanic?
I'm rowing the Titanic.
You get your snacks first, though.
That's right. And then I go to the location. I'm at an inexpensive motel, the cheapest I can get without sacrificing security, because I don't want anybody's items to get stolen either. So I try not to be in the worst neighborhoods either. But I'm certainly not at the Four Seasons or anything like you gentlemen are used to. So
no.
Super great, baby, all the way.
So the margins on these things don't usually allow me to, pay for 6 airplane tickets round trip from all over the country. Unfortunately,
I'll pay for my own.
That's going on our end.
We're all Deuce Bigelows.
Well, I'm sure just having the time with these creators, is part of what's satisfying, right? It's got
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It is. I never take it for granted ever. I never know, because of their ages and mine. I never know when the last one will be, and I never take it for granted.
Dude, it's not even so much age. It's like I see stuff now, maybe because I'm getting to my late 40s, and it's like you see people that are just passing, in 40s, early 50s, and you think, it's a gift that these guys are still here and they can share.
Absolutely. You mentioned age. I'm 49, and I remember when COVID hit, I remember thinking, holy cow, this is the first time I'm at an age where I could be in one of the at-risk groups.
I was in the same boat. You're a 73 baby, just like me.
Who's saying that? I can't tell who's saying
That's
that.
Joel.
That's Joel.
73.
Hidden in the toys.
I'm 49 too.
I think I pissed off Eben. I haven't heard him say anything.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
He's just seething in the background. He's angry.
He's probably
I
saying
felt the
I didn't
same
know
way
he was
as you.
Oh, I'm
this
like,
long.
listen, I'm enjoying this story.
Right.
Hector, talk a little bit to, like, I know your son went with you this time. So is he following in your footsteps? Is he very interested in it? Does he
even know who these people are?
I brought him with me to the last 2 signings. He helped me with a couple of sessions in 2019 and 2020. I also set up sessions for other groups. I did Allison Duty, who played the lead female character in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. What was her name? Elsa Schneider, Dr. Elsa Schneider. So no one could ever get her to commit to something. And I said, well, I seem to know how to do it with other people on each.
She's not very easy on the eyes either.
No, she was impossible. And for some reason, my approach worked. She liked it. And I went out to Dublin. I took my son. The reason I'm taking my son and now these last couple sessions is I want him to learn the business. I want him to learn how to do it with me.
That's so cool, man.
He's really good at it. And not with me. I certainly did want them to be Star Wars fans, but I have 3 boys, teenagers. My 2 youngest like it, but they're not super passionate.
Yeah.
He is passionate on his own for it. He loves it.
Nice.
What's interesting, and I'm sure if you guys have kids in that age range, is that unlike us, who have a clear bias for the original trilogy, they don't discriminate in Star Wars. They don't say, oh, the prequels. They don't make those distinctions.
Right.
Like
It's just Star Wars to them.
It's just Star Wars.
Yeah.
My son makes fun of me for loving Star Wars, but he kind of likes it. He likes certain things, but it was so funny today. And Joel, you'll like the story. I finally got the trophy wall finished. I'm like, James, come in here. Check this out. It's always, I force him, to interact. And I never know what his reaction is going to be to stuff. And I didn't even have to point at it. He just looks up there because he saw me working early. And he's like, that is sick. Like he's just so excited. Like he likes creatures. So in Star Wars, he likes the creatures. And I'm like, yes, that's satisfying to me. Just the fact that
absolutely,
absolutely, man.
I was going to say too, Hector, judging by who you are as far as working with these people, like we said earlier, you have to be of a certain nature or class or whatever that people are like, oh, you're trusted. I can respect you because
you're not just trying to milk for the buck, right? You're not just trying to just,
and you're not just sitting there as a fangirl, right? So you're showing the respect, and I would think that you've probably raised your kids the same way, and especially if they're coming in and wanting to come along, you're also teaching them this is how you respect people, not because he's a star, not because of this, but this is how you respect people.
Natural.
There is no way I would bring any of my boys if I didn't. I've only ever brought him because I know my other 2 would ruin my entire business in one second.
You know what? People think that sounds bad to say, but no,
it's true.
It's absolutely right.
My kids, I love my boys, but I know what I have. You know what I mean? I'm not kidding. If I brought the 16-year-old 5 minutes in, he'd be like, "You're Marcia Lucas?" Yeah, whatever.
Right, exactly.
That's what he'd be. He'd be like, "Have you seen this TikTok?" That's what I would get.
Right.
Yeah.
So no, my oldest is a little bit different. He's he's straight arrow, great kid, very good head on his shoulders, incredibly polite and respectful. And so I wouldn't dare bring. With that being said, I don't think I'll be bringing him with Marcia Lucas because that is another level of delicate and fragile.
There's a sensitive nature to it.
There's a much more sensitive nature there. So I don't know when you guys want to talk about Marcia.
At any time, Marcia.
Let's do that now. Let me share a picture real quick so we can start this conversation. So David Boudreau,
who's in our audience,
stunning.
Yeah, David,
amazing,
fantastic man.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I think he just painted this or drew it out in the last week here. I don't know how long it took him.
Is David on? Can he tell us a little bit about how the medium and how he created it?
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to jump on.
Yeah, he's over here. Yeah, we just have to send him a link. But
we send him a link.
David, if you want to jump in, let us know.
Yeah, please do.
For the most part, he's all Wacom tablet by hand. Yeah.
Marcel had a quick question. Yeah. Marcel was asking, what's the signature you most enjoyed possessing, and what's the signature grail you still don't have? Thank you, Marcel, for both of those.
We're going to talk about Marcel here in a little bit, but the signature I most enjoy possessing, I think the first Mark Hamill autograph I ever got. It's interesting. I met Harrison Ford, and when I say met, I mean I was in front of Harrison Ford for the first time ever before I got in front of Mark Hamill. I thought I would never get to meet him. The first time I got in front of Mark Hamill was at Celebration 5 in Orlando, I want to say. And that was so exciting and so unbelievable. And so that's my favorite one. Unfortunately, I don't have it on the wall because the frame I had it in is a little damaged, and I'm going to get it repaired. But that's my favorite one. In terms of grails, Marcia Lucas is my white whale. I don't know why I fixated on her, but for 10 years I said, she's a human being. There's got to be a way to get to her, and then sure enough, there was. And I have been in communication with her irregularly for 10 years. And at first it was no, not interested. It had nothing to do with me, and it had nothing to do with writing her name. It wasn't about that. It was about the fact. It was the conditions under which she left Lucasfilm, and I don't know. I don't really want to get into how.
Let's talk about why it was such of an interest to you, because it wasn't commercial. I don't sense that from you.
Let's pause on that one, Jason, real quick.
It was the fact that I knew how important she was
to
what Star Wars became. Right. Famously, the first assembly cuts of the film were a disaster. They were not working. There was no narrative through line. There was no cohesion to the cuts. The individual scenes were cool, but a story and a propulsion wasn't there. And certainly the final act was a mess. There was no, believe it or not, there was no drama to that final act. She is the one who said after it was assembled, we need a ticking time bomb in the third act.
Right.
In the original script, the rebels just went to attack the Death Star, which is neat on its own, but cinema needs tension. And she said, what if we have a countdown where once the Death Star clears this gas planet, it's in a direct line of fire to destroy the rebel base. Now you've got a ticking time bomb. Now the rebels are up against the wall, and now the audience is on the edge of its seat. The problem was there was no more money. The crews had already come back from the UK. Everyone had moved on. They could not do any new scenes to add that element. She manufactured that component, that aspect of the battle, entirely in editorial, which is shocking. So when you go back and look at it, and all the one thing is ILM did generate the little graphics that show, coming around the moon. Sure. But principal photography, there is none of that. None of that was captured. So it was all narration, voiceover, and that sequence is a nail biter to this day. So her genius was undeniable, but because of the way she left the company and the way she and George Lucas separated, none of that credit was ever.
She doesn't get the credit.
Yeah. She doesn't get the credit.
Yeah.
Contrary to a lot of other fans, I actually kind of understand why she wasn't given credit. Hey, David, how's it going? I'll get to you.
There you go. David, meet Hector. Hector, meet David.
Yeah. Right. Nice to meet you, David. I'm a man. I was cheated on in my marriage. I didn't want to remember that person, after that happened. So as a guy, I get it. And I remember thinking, I'd heard the mythology that, George kind of wrote her out of everything. And I thought, you know what? George is too sophisticated and too professional to have done that. That doesn't sound right to me. However, the more I've met with the people that worked with them closely, specifically Howard Kazanjian, the producer on Return of the Jedi, which is when they separated, he said it was that. It was simple as that. I asked him, there's been a lot of talk about Marcia and how she was written out of the accounts. It couldn't have been George, right? That wouldn't have been him. He goes, yeah, it was George. He was so devastated.
Wow.
It wasn't that he didn't want to give her credit. It wasn't that. It wasn't that he wanted to deny her credit. It was he didn't want to be reminded of the pain. Yeah. Simple as that. And I totally get that as a human being.
Sure.
Forever, right? Because it's in movies, right? I mean, he would have been reminded of it forever.
Yeah, so it was a very painful
thing. Well, and you think about the time, right? That was easier to do back then. Because
it was.
You're talking early 80s. It's
for some reason I fixated on it and I said, you know what, I really want to do a session with her, and it's been 10 years and now we're finally here. But let's talk about David. David did this incredible print here.
David, thanks for joining us, man. That's
awesome. Yeah, thanks, David. Boudreaux.
I don't want to interview him, so you guys interview him.
So David, just talk about what got you started on this piece, man.
Well, it actually started. I was thinking of doing a piece like way back when she was on the Vice thing, the documentary, and I'm constantly doing portraits and homages to different stars and people and stuff. And I had the idea of doing something, but I've been busy with work and stuff, and I just haven't gotten around to it. And then when I heard about the signing and stuff, and people were like, there's not a lot of pictures of her, except for like in different back, in the background scenes and stuff like that. And so I managed to finish up my work. Work was slow this week, and so I was like, maybe I'll do a portrait. So I found the photograph, this particular one, but I kind of I wanted to get rid of George, so in the scene. So I just wanted to focus on her. Yeah. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do. But then I thought, well, maybe I'll just do a portrait and something that's in, the familiar, like in the wheelhouse of what she did. So that's why I put the film canisters in the background.
It's a beautiful piece, David.
It was just simple. I just want to do a simple thing, and I thought, well, if anybody wants something,
dude, doing the gray tones too, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a little bit on the green, like I don't know what
it's got a tint. Yeah, it's got a tint. But I know you usually do a full render, but this is fantastic.
What the medium is? Is this on paper? Is this a computer?
I draw everything. I'm a traditional animator, so I work on the Cintiq now. So it's like everything I draw is on a digital tablet. So it's all hand drawn. It's not like.
So David's classically trained. He couldn't do what he does on a tablet if he didn't know how to draw.
Oh no! I'm not saying. I know that's just.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of AI going around right now.
Hey, David, you did an incredible job tracing this photo. Beautiful work.
It's all AI, right?
That is not what I was suggesting at all. Not at all.
No, David is a supreme talent, man.
It's it's just it's a very simple thing. I was going to go further with it, but I didn't know how much time I would have. I was going to do an actual full painting of it, but
man, it's not a simple render, but it's. Where you took it is exactly where it needed to.
It's nice, especially with the film in the back.
This is usually what I call my underpainting. It's kind of what I start out and springboard from, but I thought, just the simplicity of it would be nice.
I like that word, underpainting. I'm going to use that. Underpainting.
So David, talk to us about the details, right? So sizes, pricing from you.
It's just my usual prices. I usually charge for 8.5 by 11, which is the smaller one, or 40, and the larger 16 by 20 is 100.
Well, Nilda hates it. She doesn't want one. So
she doesn't want one.
Yeah. Yeah, she don't want one. So
available if anybody wants them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
David is on your website, contacting you directly.
You can contact me directly, or I can, Hector, I can talk to you about.
Let's definitely talk offline. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, if she wants one, I don't know if she wants one, but
I can certainly ask her. But even if she doesn't, I can take it and tell
her.
You
can give it to her.
Yeah. There you go. Just give it to her. Yeah, that would be the way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Hey, you're going to
take. Actually, I'm going to charge her like a couple of million.
There you go.
Hector, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say that even if she doesn't want it, she's taking it.
There you go.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, it's awesome.
That's so cool. Love it.
Great work.
Thanks, David.
Cool. Thanks, David.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks, David.
So, David, any pickups this week?
Yeah.
Put him on the spot.
I got an X-wing helmet. I sort of stopped collecting because
I was going to say it was a trick question. You said
I don't have any more room left in my beautiful place here. The only thing I have coming in left is the skiff helmet.
I still want to talk about Marcel, but go ahead, David.
Dude, but so Hector, David is also a sculptor and does amazing
Jesus
stuff.
Christ. I thought, you know what? You didn't tell me.
Told you,
when
talent.
You brought me on the show,
Marcel!
you had to be talented to be a guest on the show.
Yeah.
No,
So
you don't
David
have to
has
be.
an IMDb page. You can look him up.
Yeah. Right?
Jesus Christ, this is incredible.
Well,
by the way,
do you remember the
really
Wampa? Do you remember the
Marcel's
Wampa that Evan showed earlier, Hector?
This guy right here?
David did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane. No, I knew. I did. I did make that connection. It's incredible work, David.
I just messaged you, David.
I'm really excited. Marcel's on camera now. We've completed the Brady Bunch grid. I'm so excited.
And look who's in the middle.
Look at those long locks of hair.
Moisturizes.
You know, the whole drinking game started because of Marcel's episode.
Yeah, that's right, dude.
Scott gets to be Alice. That's right. We got to look to the sides and to the bottom.
Let's see. Let me bring up Marcel's stuff.
Oh, man.
Actually, I see
really
myself
enjoying
in the top left. Does everyone see
Yes,
themselves?
dude, this has been a great show, man.
Yes.
Great show.
What was that, Hector?
I'm still running with my ludicrous Brady Bunch thing.
There you go.
Usually do the high five.
There you go. Now you're in the middle.
Oh my God, I get to be Alice.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you
get
can
to be
do
Alice. Right.
Oh, I'm gonna use that for our previously on Spice Runners.
Hey, those things are
I get
funny.
to be
in
Alice.
Previously segments.
Let me
been on the road. I haven't been able to
want
make
to mention
some.
Marcel. Marcel approached me almost as soon as I announced the Marcia Lucas signing, and I said, okay, well, you know, several people approached me, but he showed me his artwork, and I was absolutely flabbergasted at the talent. And I just look at that X-wing helmet.
Mm-hmm.
That is done by hand is astonishing to me.
Yeah.
Absolutely astonishing. And he's offering these prints for, I know he's not allowed to advertise it, but God damn it, here we can. Marcia Lucas is going to sign plaques that go along with those prints. I think they're stunning. And I hope people jump on the opportunity. I think it's one of the more unique things that we're offering for this session. He can, because of I'm adhering to the spirit and letter of our agreement, he can't advertise it as Marcia Lucas, but Force Queen is Marcia Lucas.
Yeah.
If I could just say for Marcel, knowing that he works with microns and I've worked with microns, the fact that he can get this render with a micron is incredible.
Yeah.
I still don't know he does it.
Jason, if I knew what a micron was, I would be so impressed. But it sounds really different.
What? It's a nerd.
It's a pen.
Nerd.
Tiny little pen.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's really hard. It looks amazing.
Show it real quick. Go ahead, show it, Marcel.
Yes.
Small, tiny.
Micron.
I can't even see the tip.
It's a Japanese.
Yeah,
I
they're
was
Japanese
imagining
markers.
this kind of, you know, electron collider thing or something. That's incredible.
No, it's Indian.
Thank you for the kind words, gentlemen.
Marcel, are you French? I've never asked you.
I am half French and half First Nations.
Oh, nice.
In the United
Where
States.
Where are you in the world?
Sorry?
Where do you live?
Outside of Vancouver in British Columbia, on the west coast,
Gotcha.
Canada, in a small town.
So David and Marcel are both Canadians.
Wow.
We're both French Canadian.
That's awesome.
It's true.
Very cool.
But David is
they're always sorry and very, very friendly.
They're incredibly polite. It's so nice. Marcel, what I love about you picked the Red 5 helmet, which I think is such a perfect embodiment. It's so hard to, with editors, what do you have them sign? You know, what on earth do you get to have them sign? And aside from photos of themselves, which as someone mentioned are very rare, but I will say this, I'm launching the photos available on Monday of Marcia. I've spent 10 years getting ready for this. I have 25 photos of her, which I think half of which have never been seen. Wow. So I'm very excited about that. But this is going to be one time only. This is never going to happen again. I'm almost sure of it. If it does happen again, it probably won't be with me because after 10 years, my energy for I'm done. It's like I've roped in the whale. I can't do it again.
Your son will take over.
He might, but this, I think, I feel like people should be creative and not just get posters and photo signed. And to me, this is one of those things. That helmet is so evocative of Luke Skywalker, the final battle.
Yeah, man.
This just connects all the dots. And what better? This is a marquee piece. And that's something you put up on your wall, and no one's ever going to touch that. That's a gallery print right there.
So Hector, so the only way to get on the signature is to join the Facebook group, and the pre-order goes on December 8th.
Thank you it wouldn't even occur to me to actually plug my group. That's why you're getting the big bucks, Evan.
Yeah.
I have a group, a Facebook group called Imperial Walker Ink. And when I named the group, it was because of that original project that got me started on all this. I wanted to have a name emotionally resonant. At Walker Ink doesn't quite have the same.
No, but we're talking about an AT-AT, not an AT-AT.
That's right.
That's right. So yes, the only place you can sign up to actually get Marcia Lucas's autograph on anything is through Imperial Walker. I've run out of drink. As Imperial Walker Ink on Facebook. It's not hidden. You can find us. You can go there. For the actual prints that Marcel, for the plaques that Marcel's offering, you go through his site, and I'll let him plug that. I don't quite know the URL or whatever.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Most people know my site. It's www.marcelchenier.com. And yeah, so I got in touch with Hector, and, thank God for you, Hector. This was, I think I speak for most people, after watching Icons Unearthed with Marcia's appearance on there. And it feels like a very tight vest has been removed from my chest. Say the name.
Marcia, just get it out. Marcia.
I have to commend Marcel. He's been so cool about not printing her name. It's so dumb, but it is what it is. I gotta respect it. It's just
Hector, you talk about like Frank Oz, okay? It's a sensitive thing. You don't want things to fall through. So I get it. Yeah,
it's not me trying to be difficult and make his life difficult. If I could, I'd be printing this everywhere.
These are artists. They have sensibilities. Yes. They don't want to just, jump out there. And it's like, I think you're going to get Frank Oz at some point. If you get Frank Oz.
I hope so. But Marcel and David pieces here are beautiful. I hope you guys take advantage of them. And by the way, Marcel, is the print that you're selling going to be that size behind you?
Yeah, the signature. This is the original piece. And
he stuttered.
Okay. The John Hancock series is always 100% reproduction of the original.
What are the dimensions of that guy?
Yeah, it's 30 by 40 museum style fine art print, and we've done. I think this one with Marcia will be our fourth. We did Anthony Daniels, we did one with Ray Park, and Ewan McGregor, and we have a couple more lined up for
the Ray Park one was sick, man.
Yeah, the Ray Park one was nice. That was the second person I ever met. The first person I met was Emily Swallow, and she was at the Vancouver Fan Expo, and I was just gifting her one of our prints, and she actually I gave her another one for Brendan Wayne, the guy who plays the Mandalorian. And they've both contacted me privately, and they're really, really generous and super friendly. And I remember meeting her, and I'd never really met a famous person, and I was shaking. Like,
you got stupid.
I was trying to just give her the print, and I couldn't stop my hands from shaking. Like, it was a physical impossibility. It was the weirdest sensation. But fortunately for me, and Nancy, we were both there. There was nobody in the line. Ming-Na Wen was speaking that day, so she was the big star, and nobody wanted to see Emily. So we hung out with Emily for like 25 minutes. Ray Park was completely different. It was really, really fast. And our friend Nilda from Appetite for Collectibles and Sean Kakar from Sithcast, they helped me out with some of the other signatures. So I said it already. Thank you so much, Hector, for putting in the years and years and years of continuous effort for making this happen. Like as I was saying earlier, after Icons Unearthed, I think that was when it came to light, how monumental a legendary figure in the Star Wars scene, Marcia Lucas, actually
doesn't that feel good?
Doesn't that feel Marcel?
She really is, and really. That it it is hard to. There is no overstating her contributions, and what it isn't just the original Star Wars. She worked on Empire and Jedi substantially, and part of the reason, and in those cases, her contributions weren't not whitewashed. They weren't given the credit they deserve, not so much because of her divorce, but because there were other credited. The way crediting works in Hollywood, all of the different disciplines have guilds and unions. So the Screen Actors Guild, the Directors Guild, the Producers Guild, the Writers Guild, the Editors Guild. There's all these rules for who gets a credit. And Marcia, and in those cases, there's also, they don't want to step on other people's toes. Jedi in particular was in incredibly bad shape when the UK editors delivered the first lock cut. Marcia almost redid the entire battle, the Sarlacc battle. So she redid that, but she couldn't get a credit because of guild rules. So those are other reasons that she's not given a credit. It wasn't. There's a lot of thorniness there too. But what her hand is in all the major sequences. It was her idea to have Obi-Wan killed in Star Wars. She shaped the sequence where Yoda dies. Leia kissing Luke before they swing across the chasm. That was suggested by her on site in London at Elstree Studios. So she really brought a lot of heart to these films, and she's even instrumental in Raiders. In the original final cut of Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they all watched it, they were all patting each other on the back. She says, "What happened to Marion? You left her tied up on the island. We never saw her."
Yeah.
And they said, "Well, what? Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, Brian De Palma, George Lucas, all these heavyweights are in the room. Oh, great job, Steven. This is awesome. This is great." Not one of them had thought, "What happened to the girl?" Right. So it was because of her that they went back and shot a sequence in San Francisco.
To your point with her and the people that you've had involved so far in signatures, it's a group effort. It's a community. It's not one person.
Absolutely.
It's not.
No man is an island. I've had a lot of help, and I can't do it without any collectors wanting the signatures to begin with. So I always thank you guys for participating.
Hector, if you don't mind me asking, I'm taking into consideration what you just said about credit. Obviously, there's been like tons and tons of books published, but Marcia receives very little acknowledgement in any way, shape, or form. Would you suggest that there's some kind of explanation for that there was sort of an agreement in the scene not to provide that acknowledgement, or how has something like that been looked over? I mean, thank God for Icons Unleashed and Brian's work on that show. But how would you, whether you're guessing or if you happen to know, how is?
No, I actually do know. There was no formal agreement. It's one of those situations where it isn't just a professional thing. There was an emotional and professional breakup there. Perfect. So, according to Howard Kazanjian himself, George asked that her name be stricken from all making of documentaries and films and TV shows, not because he didn't, want her to get credit, but because it was too painful him. Right. If he wants to watch that and he's constantly seeing her, that just keeps driving the stake home. Mm-hmm. It was purely that, but there was no document, there was no contract that says she's not going to get any credits. Interestingly, Howard Kazanjian had a book published a year or two ago called Howard Kazanjian, A Producer's Life. Has a lot of information about Marcia Lucas in there. She's interviewed for the book by the late J.W. Rinsler, who wrote all the making of books for Star Wars, Empire, and Jedi. And she mentions in there that she herself didn't want credit all these years because she always felt that it would look like she was trying to get credit for something she didn't deserve, that she didn't want to seem like the ungrateful ex-wife. So she herself wasn't looking for a spotlight. So now it's us fans trying to shed that light on her for her well-deserved contributions.
Right.
Nice.
Ooh, pregnant pause.
Marcel needs to be up in the left corner. Yeah. Oh yeah, we can do the giveaway.
Yeah, do the giveaway. I know I've seen it several times. People wanting this giveaway. What are you guys giving away, by the way?
You. We're giving away Hector.
Oh my God, where do I enter?
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
Put it in the chat.
I have one on my trophy wall from the talented. Look at Joel Hosley's got it right there.
So Hector, before we do the giveaway too, because we're running up against the 2+ hour mark. I know that the rest of the crew and the people that are in the chat would love to have you back at some point too. So
yeah,
I can't imagine anyone wanting any more of me. I'm really sorry.
Oh, I
talk so much. I'm not even being, false modesty. I'm really sorry. I went off at the mouth. I apologize.
We always run over, Hector. We always run over.
I'm sure the stats on your viewership.
Hector, we're always happy to have more Mexican Star Wars fans than
me
and Evan.
You gotta represent, right? Brown power, Star Wars, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'll bring the tacos next time.
Evan, you're on mute.
Hey, that would be awesome.
Evan, you're on mute, dude.
Hector, since you're our guest, what would you like our hashtag to be for the giveaway?
Oh, how does that work? What do you guys do?
Just pick a name.
Word.
Yeah.
I'm going to build off of Marcel's brilliant idea. Hashtag Force Queen.
There it is. Nice. All lowercase.
That
One
credit,
word.
my wife Nancy, when we were trying to figure out how to do the workaround.
That was a good idea.
She says, Force Queen, do it. I was like, really? Force Queen?
Hector, while we're building out the chat for it, the quick question, right? So, which I think a lot of people have messaged also too, and I know you're going to release it on the 8th on the website on Facebook. Are we going to have to, like, as a crew, because I know everybody's very anxious about it, are we going to have to race to the computer to get in?
That's a very good question. So everyone's got that question. I wish I had the answer. In my mind, I would think this thing would sell out in seconds. I don't think that's going to be the case. That's just, and that's not me being pessimistic. I think that's me being realistic. It's a limited amount of items. It's certainly not 2,100, nowhere near that. There are 730 some people in my group. If everyone ordered one, nowhere near the entire group would get one. It's limited. I want to say it's limited, but not that limited. So do I think it'll sell out in minutes? No. I don't even think, there's also a price consideration. So she's a very wealthy woman. So to even get her attention, the dollar amounts I had to, structure were significant. And my understanding, and I don't know this for certain, but she's going to give some of it or all of it to charity, but I don't know. It's hers to do with what she wants. But it comes with a commensurate price point. So she's rare. Rarity dictates value. So a standard item like an 8x10 or 11x14 is $250, and it goes a little bit up from there. But considering that in the 40 years that she's been underground and the 11 years that I've been doing this, I've only ever personally seen 3 items signed by her.
Wow.
It's incredibly rare. And on the rare occasion, now, my understanding is that not only there's 3, there's probably about 4 more in existence. So 7 total circulating the collector community. And then the rare occasion that they go on sale, that someone sells them, they don't go for less than $500 or $600. And that's like on an index card. That's nothing fancy. So to get premium items signed the way you wanted, I think to get it in the $250 range is a bargain.
What if you had her sign Marcia Lucas? Would that be $500, $750?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about that possibility.
Let's pause on this note because that's good. I got a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So, people, for our friends in the chat, hashtag Force Queen. We're gonna start collecting comments soon. Let's see how many people put it in. So we got 24 entries. Let's see if anybody else comes in. Scott, when I count down from 5, let's just go.
You got it.
So hashtag Force Queen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Hey,
Richard Lindsay's.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Richard,
Hector, is he from
get your information?
Is he from Imperial Ink? Richard?
Oh, I just happen to know Richard. He's in my group, and he's
he's
a good guy. So very
awesome.
Awesome.
I always like it when it goes to good people.
Heck yeah, Richard. Just if you can get a hold of Joel, send him your information, or
By
if
the
you
way,
go to YouTube and look at
what
our
did they
YouTube
win?
channel, there's email addresses there too.
Dude, that's so freaking cool.
That's what you want.
Who has one of
That's
his
amazing.
1/6 Tauntaun?
Yeah, that's
This
incredible.
is a
Thing's
1/6
amazing.
Tauntaun
You
head.
will not be
and
disappointed.
There's only
Trust
3
me.
of them I did
Trust
that were
me.
haired. I did this in February of 2019. It's signed.
Beautiful.
It's initialed, anyways. You'll get a little signature postcard too. So
Hiya.
badass.
Congratulations, Richard.
Congrats.
Awesome job,
That's
Rick.
awesome.
Yeah. That's
Alrighty.
freaking
Look for Joel's stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Good work.
Yes.
Hector, just a quick question. You mentioned earlier that there was, a bit of a list of individuals that you had access to. I'm assuming the answer is yes, but I'm curious to know, how about like art directors or concept designers on the show?
Congrats, Richard.
Yeah. So anybody who works behind the scenes is in my wheelhouse. I've had signings with all the matte painters, and at 2023, I definitely plan to do a trip where it's just matte painters. So it'd be Chris Evans, Frank Gordaz,
Sweet.
Harrison
Nice.
Ellen Shaw. So that absolutely is. In September, I had a signing with Joe Johnston, who was the concept designer for practically the entire original trilogy. 2023, I'll also visit with Nilo Rodas Chimero, who was in the art department, concept designer, designed Slave One. So absolutely, anybody who is not on camera and just behind the scenes is fair game, is a yes.
Any thoughts on Andor?
I liked it. I did like it. I liked it. I finished it yesterday, and I did enjoy it. Personally, just me, I like the show. There's no critiquing its writing excellence. I like my Star Wars a little more, a little more swashbuckling, a little more the serial style that it was based on. This was prestige television with a Star Wars shell, beautifully done, but it's not really my favorite thing, personally.
Cool.
Did I just offend everybody here?
Congrats.
No, you summed it up perfectly. That was great.
I enjoyed it. So going back to the Marcia Lucas stuff, is there going to be plaques and pictures and different options to get her signature, or is it set to whatever she said?
No, she has.
No?
What's really cool is that she's made no restrictions about anything.
Wow.
I personally am going to offer printed photos. You guys pick the photos, I print them. If you guys want plaques, that's where you go to your friend like Ariel Martinez and things like that, and he ships them directly to me, and then I ship them out to whoever bought them. Anything that I can get onto an airplane will go, so it's not a problem.
Cool.
But in terms of what I physically offer, it's just photos, and I offer collages. I'm going to offer photos of her at the Academy Awards with her fellow editors, some things like that. I'm going to offer some collages. It's hard an editor isn't just one shot. It's a sequence. So I'm offering some collages that show kind of a progression of a scene, things like that. But yeah, I'll offer photograph form. But if people want to send me a book or a print or a plaque, an action figure, a bust, I'm different from other companies in that it's just me. You can email me or get hold of me, and we talk it through and we figure it out.
It's all the same price?
No, there is a difference just because of the handling. It's a reality of if it goes over a certain weight, you got to pay more for luggage. So my wife would divorce me pretty quickly if I had to pay for all those luggage fees.
High command.
Well, like Evan's really into tattoos. What if he wanted himself to be signed so he can go get it tattooed?
I'd have to pay for excess baggage, I think.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus, man. Look at you. You're
dude, you have no clue. Look at this.
Here, dude.
That is impressive.
I got a falcon here somewhere.
Wow. I'm trying to work up the guts.
And a few tears.
I'm trying to work up the guts to get one tattoo, and I do want to get a Star
Well, this
Wars
could be your
sign.
first.
That
You
could
just
be.
have Marcia Lucas sign you and then go get it
Sign
tattooed.
right to Marcia.
Right,
Yep.
right, exactly.
There you go.
And,
Marcia. Yeah.
Hector, people
I
can
heart
go-
Marcia.
Anything reasonable I will take. If it's an 8x10 or 11x14, which are usually the standard photo options, those are $250. Anything else is $275. If you want a quote or a personalization up to 3 words like To Eben or Academy Award winner, that's another $50.
Okay.
So And that's just her stipulating that because she knows her hand's going to get tired, things like that.
That's still not bad, though. Most people charge
For Marcia, that's
more for
awesome. Yeah.
Well, it's
No,
like
if you
with,
wanted to get her autograph
David's.
right now if you wanted to get her autograph right now, you have find one because they're never on sale, and when they are, it's just like I said, a nice little index card, but it's just a little white card, and you're not getting that for less than $600.
Hector, on your Facebook page, Imperial Walkers Ink, all of this information is in a dedicated thread, right? So if people were to go to your Facebook page,
It's pinned to the top of the page. It's got all the details you could possibly want. On Monday, I'm going to release all the photos that are available that I can offer for printing.
I'll bring that up.
And then on Thursday,
on
the 8th, that's when orders go live. And to answer your question, I truly don't know how fast it will sell out. I anticipate it will sell out. I just don't know how quickly. I honest to God, I don't feel it'll sell out like an hour or anything like that. But I certainly wouldn't wait. I wouldn't wait a day or two to order, Well,
I definitely think like the film cell thing is awesome, or something like that. Idea. A strip, because that's her. That's how we know her. It's like it took me to be an adult to realize what she did.
I think that's a phenomenal idea. I think with a film strip, we always have to think about also what will ink adhere to. The film will probably reject it.
No, it would be on its own.
I would recommend either the base or a plaque to accompany it. You know what I mean?
Well, plaque's good because it can go to anything, and it's small, and it's not going to cost a lot to ship and move around. So,
yes. Eben, I sent you an image in Instagram. It's a pricing image.
Eben, right there, do you see that little arrow next to Marcia's picture? Scroll to the right there. That graphic has got all the details. You can maximize that guy.
That's what I sent you, Eben. But that's
okay. Cool. Nice. So order process: first come, first serve.
Yeah,
I don't have a website. That's probably something I need to work on, but I don't have a website. There's a lot of these behind the scenes folks are usually requesting privacy, which is why I don't have a real traditional storefront or anything like that. We have a thread on the forum. It's worked for me for a decade, so I continue to use it, and it's also a way for me to track first come, first serve. There's no disputing it. An undisclosed volume cap. I'm not allowed to say how many, but I think once I say it's sold out, anybody could go into the thread and count the number of items. They'll be able to figure that out. I've had in the past, whenever I have a situation where I have a volume cap, meaning I have an X number of items that I can sell, I've run into the situation where people will, in their enthusiasm, say on the day of ordering, I want 5 spots, I want 5 items. And then once payments come due, they'll say, you know what, I changed my mind, I only want 1 or I don't want any. So in order to avoid that, I have to sell the signing through. There's going to be a $50 non-refundable deposit per item, and that's non-refundable in the case of anything that they do. If Marcia, for some reason, were to walk away from the signing, of course, I would return that deposit if the signing itself doesn't take place.
Right.
So a payment is due by January 8th, I take it?
Yeah, so I'm like I said, I'm a little small-time operator. I adhere to PayPal limits, and I'm quite above it for 2022. So I can't start accepting the full payments until January 1st.
Oh, okay. Because they'll hold your money for Homeland Security reasons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let me see the other question I had. I forget. Oh, so the threads. Yeah. So when someone wants to buy or pre-order the signing, they go into the actual thread and they say.
In this case, I'll talk. I can't talk. All you got to do is write your name and say. In this case, I'm not going to make you write out extensively. It'd be like 1 poster or 2 photos. It can be just very descriptive and just say 3 items, 4 items. You don't have to get in all the details because I know everyone's going to be thinking time is a factor. But as long as you get that in and the deposit comes in for those items, you're locked in.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Nice.
And then you're
going
to go in and embellish.
I was asking Jeff these questions the other day. I was like, how do I order one?
Yeah.
You do have to be in the group, and there's going to be 1 thread only, and you just type in your name and how many items you want, send the deposit, and I'll confirm each and every person deposit received, spots confirmed. That kind of
thing. That was pretty seamless with Phil and the rest of them. So Murin and those guys. So that was pretty seamless. It's the same as your other signature cycles too. So
yes,
that's awesome.
Oh yeah, man.
Thanks so much, Hector, for doing all this.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Amazing, dude.
And this has not been landed yet. I have an agreement in place. a month. I'm still figuring out all the final details, but the plane's almost landed. So thank you very much. We're almost there.
Yeah.
Awesome. I know we ran over time, but how did you get a hold of Marcia Lucas? Like, I don't think we heard that story. Keep going, man.
Well, that's the fun part about this is that there is it's not common in the film industry, but with the Star Wars trilogy, there's a fraternity of people. They all still talk to each other. I don't talk to colleagues from work from 2 or 3 jobs ago, and all these people are still friends 40 years later. They really were a very close-knit family. So I can't divulge my sources, but she was very good friends with certain people that worked at Lucasfilm, who I've become very friendly with, and I explained to them, hey, it would mean a lot to me if you could get me in touch with Marcia Lucas. Now, this was when I first started, no one knew even where she was in the world. And only her very close friends, and one of them happened to be someone I was with, and I had a signing with her. Marcia wasn't even on my radar yet. I had a signing with her. She was very impressed, and then in conversation, Marcia came up later, and she said, I can put you in touch with her. That was great, but that certainly didn't mean anything. It's taken a decade to get her to this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think, Hector, follow-up question there, do you think that the Icons release helped her to want to do it?
I'm very respectful of what Icons did. Very, very cool what they did.
Sure.
But she came out a little bit before that, not to the broader world, but to the ILM community. So I was invited to the 40th anniversary of Star Wars ILM Gala in 2017. And that's when I first met her in person. So we'd already been exchanging a little bit of communication, but that's when I got to meet her in person. And everyone there, her former colleagues and friends, embraced her so wholeheartedly that opened her ears to both me. I was supposed to have, I'm not going to talk about too much. I was supposed to have a signing with her in 2019, 2 years after that. Wow. It didn't happen for a couple of reasons, but that really is what opened her up. And again, it's all of her colleagues wanting her to get the credit she deserves. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember the name, Brian, I think his name is. He was the one who contacted her through, again, a mutual friend of theirs. And that's how it got started. Again, she herself has wanted to remain a little bit behind the scenes because she didn't ever want to seem like she was an ungrateful ex-wife. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, makes sense.
But this is something different. So appearing on screen and talking about your work is one thing. There isn't, especially with behind the scenes people, it has taken a lot of work to explain to them why anyone would want their signature. There is a lot of suspicion around it. Why do you want my signature? I've encountered a lot of people who believe that people want their signature because they want to do some kind of identity theft. And getting past that barriers. And that's one of the things that was with Marcia. She had this feeling like, what are you going to do with my signature? So getting them to understand that this truly is coming from a place of sincere fandom, that this is happening.
That's why a lot of the original guys, right, Hector? I mean, stop signing index cards like Mayhew.
Yes. Every time
Daniels.
I get a question, why do they want? I got an email from Nelson Hall, who worked on the prequels a couple days ago, who was invited to a show in Texas, and he didn't want to sign index cards because he didn't know what they were for. There's still a lot of misconceptions about why people want them. And I don't know, your collectors might not know why people want index cards. I didn't know when I first started, but some people, and I think Star Wars fans all share this, are very, very particular about their collections. They want consistency. And Alec Guinness is no longer with us. So they say, you know what? I can't ever get Alec Guinness on a poster, but I do want his autograph. So what do? Alec happened to have signed a lot of index cards. And so they want that. They want a collection of index cards, a full set, because that's one thing that they can get a complete set of. It's one of the only things.
That was my first.
I think that if it's on a blank piece of paper, that's easily, something that you can easily duplicate and counterfeit. So they're very wary of them.
Hector, that was my first set of signatures. I got a David Prowse cut, an Alec Guinness, and a James Earl Jones cut, and I put it with that Empire shot.
There you go. But
right?
Beautiful.
Or not the Empire shot, the Death Star shot.
Nice.
Right, and put them as a cut. And then I thought that was the only way you could get autographs, and then started getting more and more into it. But yeah, I remember reading that about Mayhew and Anthony Daniels, talking to them, the two of them together, and they were like, you can't sign index cards anymore because you're going to get your stuff stolen.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions, and I'm sure some nefarious people out there have done bad things with them, but for the most part, our groups are pretty good. And there's all the autograph collectors get things, all kinds of things signed, soundtrack albums, statue bases, action figures. The creativity is never ending. So,
well, if you're like Nilda, she'll get a tattoo.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. See,
She actually got a Ahsoka Tano's tattoo.
Yeah.
Ashley. Yeah.
Ashley Eckstein. Yeah.
That's who should have played her too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. In my book.
No, that's awesome. So yeah, we're at the 2 hours and 40-minute mark. So
Nice.
I think we had a great conversation. We can always go a part 2 and keep this going.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But Hector, thank you so much for your stories tonight, for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Hector.
David and Marcel, thanks for jumping on.
Scott, Eben, David, Jason, right? J2SO?
Jason and Jason.
Jason, Marcel, Jason, Jeff, and Joel, thank you so much for having us. It's been my pleasure. Thank you for even having me. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. I'm blown away by your collections and your knowledge of everything and the camaraderie you have. You obviously really have a friendship that it's really, really cool. You don't have that in this day and age anymore.
Oh, this is a great community, and it just keeps growing.
Last one.
Oh,
thank you for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. It was an honor for us. Absolute honor for us.
So, guys, don't leave. We'll talk in the green room again.
Yep.
But for everybody who joined us tonight, thank you for joining us this Friday. It's December, so we're gonna have a bunch of more giveaways. So stay tuned. Next
Lots
Friday,
of good
there's
ones.
some more stuff. And then on the 16th, I got a couple goodies that I haven't announced yet that you guys are gonna die for. So, Richard, make sure you get a hold of Joe. I put his information in the comments somewhere in the thread. Reach out to him. If not, reach out to me, Eben the Collector. We'll make sure you get your stuff.
Yeah, please do.
And until then, may the force be with you.
Peace.
Good night, guys.
You guys.
Thank you so much.